The Protector Chapter 1301. Moreover, it is said that the family meeting, Aaron and Caitlin are not allowed to attend. To put it bluntly, I was afraid they would stop it. As soon as Zoe said this, everyone's face changed. Why don't you? Everyone in the three families agreed, but you didn't agree? Who do you think of? Yourself? Do you want to betray your ancestors? Meredith and Harry scolded. It's not that I don't want to, but Morris Group is not mine, it is Levi's, and there are many people who own a large proportion of shares. I can't be the master. Zoe. Hey, you're bullshit. Who are you lying to? Who doesn't know that Morris Group is yours? Even if it is Levi Garrison? You are a husband and wife, and his is yours. What's more, he is handicapped, you have to take care of him, this company is yours. Jenny angrily scolded. You are not allowed to bully your mother. No, me. See. Lavilia had a small face and looked at everyone fiercely. Zoe smiled. What are you doing for the three joint development, isn't it just for the Morris Group? Group? Don't think I can't see it. Aaron glared at her and said angrily, yes, nothing wrong. We just want your Morris Group. This is what you deserve to contribute to the Lopez family and Black family. Forget about your family. After you have developed. Seeing that they couldn't hide it, everyone showed their true colors. I want to tell you one thing clearly, it's impossible, don't fight the idea of Morris Group. With that said, Zoe was about to leave with Lavilia in his arms. Let's go. Whenever you step out of this gate, your child will be nameless. As soon as Zoe walked to the gate, Jenny's voice sounded. Okay. Zoe was taken aback, then slowly turned around and looked at everyone. Concubine Jenny looked at her condescendingly and said, this is Levi Garrison's child, right? Why is it called Lavilia? What does it have to do with you? Zoe stared at Jenny. It's related, why doesn't it matter? Harry's voice sounded. This child follows his mother's surname, but the surname is Lopez. I am the head of the Lopez family. And I have never agreed that she can be named Lopez. What? Zoe was taken aback. As long as I say a word, I can deprive her of her surname. She can't be named Lopez. Harry stared at her. Yes. What is the surname of Levi Garrison's child? Does he have the qualification? Lopez should be deprived of his surname. Everyone in the Lopez family scolded. Meredith also said, not to be named Black. The Black family also doesn't agree. Logan's father smiled, it's okay if the surname is Zhang, just see if she is willing or not. How could Levi Garrison's child be named Zhang? Lopez and Black reluctantly considered. Because it has something to do with Zoe. No other surname is possible. Zoe looked at everyone in despair. This is premeditated. She was just thinking about what they would use to suppress herself. Now I understand. This is a fuss about the child's last name. Can't be named Black. Nor can the last name be Lopez. Not to mention other surnames. Only one last name is left, Garrison. Let Lavilia and his father's last name. But this is an unworkable road. The Garrison family in Oakland City had 1,000 warnings Levi Garrison's child could never be named Garrison. Any surname is fine, except for Garrison. This is to put plum dye on a dead end. Zoe, we don't make it difficult for you. As long as you agree to the Morris Group to support the joint development of the three companies, you will be surnamed Black and Lopez. The Protector Chapter 1302. Otherwise, Lavilia will never have a surname, even a household registration status. Believe it or not. Faced with the threats of the crowd, how could Zoe not believe it? What can't these people do? Not to mention this little thing. They even expected the character of Zoe, forcing her to agree. You deceive people too much. Zoe stared at everyone helplessly. It's not that we bullied people, it's mainly that Levi Garrison was disabled, and we resolutely refused to agree. At this time, the Lavilia in his arms suddenly said, Mom, I can be named Garrison. I want to follow Dad's surname. Lavilia knows everything. Meredith and others laughed. Follow your father's surname, right? Well, you can be named Garrison. Then you just wait for the revenge of the Garrison family in Oakland City. Let's see if the Garrison family agrees or not. Everyone looked triumphant. Humph! They dare not. They are afraid of father. My father is the god of war in Arudaya. Everyone must be afraid. Lavilia has gone through the things before and after. Messiah still regarded Levi Garrison as the god of war in Arudaya. He even knew the fate of Tyrone Garrison and Garrison family. Even the Garrison family is under the control of Levi Garrison. She wants the surname Garrison. Who dares to hold him accountable? Lavilia is innocent, and he speaks the truth. Haha, listen. What did Levi Garrison teach this kid? Arudaya god of war? Is there a crippled god of war? If Levi Garrison is the god of war, it would be a shame. Can Arudaya still look up? The Arudaya god of war is Ray, not Levi Garrison. Don't you worry about Levi Garrison teaching the child badly. Look at this lie. Everyone laughed. Also blame the child's education problems. Zoe's complexion is also ugly. What does Levi Garrison teach this? Indeed, you used to be the Arudaya god of war. But now it's not anymore. What else do you mention? The key is that Lavilia is still young, she will take it seriously. This will cause a lot of trouble in the future. It will also seriously affect the development of Lavilia. This can't work. Mom, I believe Lavilia can be named Garrison. No one can do it. Lavilia insisted. But who would listen to a child? Zoe quickly make a decision, don't think about it for yourself, but also think about it for your children. Furthermore, take Morris Group out to support the joint development of the three companies. And the future is yours. Lavilia is also the princess of the three families. Beloved by thousands of people. Not necessarily a bad thing. Meredith started to tempt her. At this moment, Zoe really moved. She didn't want Lavilia to become a child who didn't even have a registered permanent residence. A child doesn't even have a surname. How pitiful is that? I think about it. Zoe. Too bully. Relying on Levi Garrison sitting in a wheelchair. First, one of his kidneys was removed. Now they are threatening to take the Morris Group away with the child's surname. Zoe couldn't even imagine what kind of family he was born in. The rich are as deep as the sea. The affection here became a joke. She would rather be born in an ordinary family in her next life. The time can't be too long, just give you 1 day. Otherwise, immediately log out the child's household registration status and deprive her of her surname. The crowd threatened. Zoe carried Lavilia home. Levi Garrison knew something was wrong at a glance. What's happenin'? He asked. Zoe told him everything that happened. Levi Garrison was very angry, but he was a little bit happy. Nothing, Lavilia's surname is Garrison. The Protector Chapter 1303. In fact, Levi Garrison really wanted to let Lavilia be named Garrison. I'm just embarrassed to mention it. Zoe suffered too much for him. The child followed the mother's surname, and Levi Garrison didn't say anything. This time, Lopez and Zhang's three family forced the palace, just in line with his ideas. Changed the surname to Lavilia. Hey? Levi Garrison, what do you think? Have you forgotten how the Garrison family warned Does Lavilia dare to be named Li Zhao? Isn't this angering the Garrison family? Zoe asked. She knew Tyrone Garrison could do anything. Even the baby Levi Garrison wanted to kill. M.BG. Lavilia, he will do it too. Does the Garrison family dare? Levi Garrison said coldly. Garrison family is under his control. He can now abolish all Garrison family's house rules. Not to mention Lavilia's surname Garrison. There are other things you shouldn't teach Lavilia. For example, you are the Erudaya god of war. You were before, but now you are down. You are now teaching Lavilia to mislead her and affect her growth. Zoe warned Levi Garrison seriously. Lavilia immediately said, Mom is not. Dad is not teaching me. Levi Garrison smiled and said, Zoe, don't worry. Lavilia's surname is Garrison, and the Garrison family can't do anything. Look, I am not Garrison yet. Zoe hesitated. She really didn't dare to let Lavilia be named Garrison. The methods of the Garrison family group are well known. Zoe, believe me again, okay? Lavilia's surname is Garrison. Garrison family won't be so good. Do you really want to cede Morris group to them? Levi Garrison asked rhetorically. Zoe hesitated, but reluctantly believed it. He only expected that Garrison couldn't do anything to deal with a child. 123,456. That's great. Lavilia, you will have your father's surname from now on. Your surname is Garrison, your name is Lavilia Garrison. Levi Garrison was very excited and said to Lavilia earnestly. I see, Dad. I'm Lavilia Garrison. Lavilia also nodded. Levi Garrison was so excited that he didn't know why. No, let's have a dinner party, let's celebrate. The next day, Levi Garrison organized a dinner. Apart from family members and Aaron and Caitlin, only Silas, Wu Xiao, and Iris were the only ones who added ginseng. The family is happy. Aaron and Caitlin had great opinions on Levi Garrison, but they were very accepting because of Zoe's face. What's more, there is Lavilia. Halfway through the dinner, the three families of Lopez Black and Zhang came together. When is Zoe? Are you still thinking about hosting a dinner party? Furthermore, why don't you call us at the dinner party? Don't you treat us as family? Meredith and others looked angry. Aaron and Caitlin quickly apologized. No, we just got together simply, so we didn't call the elders to come. Levi Garrison looked upset. Why are you here? Meredith glared at him and said, why are we here? Naturally, we came to find a son to diet. How are things considered? Everyone looked at Zoe. I've decided, the child will be called Lavilia Garrison from now on. Follow his father's surname. Zoe, his face firmly. What? Dare to let the child be named yet? Are you crazy? Meredith was shocked. When they wanted to come, no matter what, Zoe wouldn't let Lavilia be named Garrison. Don't dare. Yes. The last name is Garrison. Well, don't blame us for being impolite, and tell the Garrison family about this right away. Levi Garrison smiled. Tell me, the Garrison family members have to kneel down when they see me. The Protector Chapter 1304. When Levi Garrison said this, everyone was stunned. A handicapped dare to speak such big words? Everyone in the Garrison family knelt down to him? Foolish dreams. Even Zoe felt embarrassed. Before Levi Garrison was the god of war in Erudaya, he could do it naturally. Now he is like this. Okay, you have a seed. Then you wait for me, I will tell the Garrison family. Do you think the Garrison family will spare you? Seeing Zoe's attitude, Meredith and the others were completely angry. Tell the Garrison family everything. M.BG. Whatever you do. Levi Garrison doesn't care. Even Lavilia agreed. Yes, Lavilia will be called Levi Garrison from now on. Zoe didn't care about anything else, and stood on the side of her husband and daughter. Drive away Meredith and his party. After that, the dinner continued. Zoe approached Levi Garrison and asked in a low voice, Lavilia's surname has been changed. Do you want to change Lavilia's name as well? What about Levi Garrison? Levi Garrison shook his head, no, just call Lavilia by this name. It can always remind me of my guilt for your wife. Well, I'm up to you for everything. Zoe didn't say anything anymore. After leaving, Meredith quickly contacted Oakland City Garrison's family. The one who answered the call was the housekeeper of the Garrison family in Oakland City. I am, and Levi Garrison's child uses the surname Garrison. Meredith added a lot of fuel and vinegar. Hey? What's the matter? The butler of the Garrison clan asked rhetorically. Ah? No, didn't the Oakland City Garrison clan forbid Levi Garrison's children to use the Garrison surname? Meredith was very surprised. What's wrong with the Garrison surname? There are so many Garrison surnames in Arudaya, can we manage it? You want to use this matter to sow discord? The Garrison clan steward asked. No, it's not. We don't have one. Meredith was terrified. If there are any, then roll as far as possible. The butler of the Garrison family hung up angrily. People like Meredith would never have imagined that the Garrison clan would celebrate because of the change of the monarch's surname to Garrison. Garrison family is now in full control of Levi Garrison's hands. The Garrison family is very afraid of what will happen in the future. Will Levi Garrison use them? But now there is news that Lavilia changed his surname to Garrison. That means that Levi Garrison thinks he is the Garrison family. This is a good thing. No. Lavilia is the little lord of our Garrison clan. She changed her surname, we should congratulate. Come here, go and prepare the most noble gift, we can go to Northampton Road, Levi to change his surname. Not only that, but the Long family, the Lin family and the royal family must all celebrate. Contact the Garrison clan from all over Arudaya again, and go all. Jamal Garrison personally came forward to preside over this matter. This is the only opportunity for the Garrison clan. The Garrison clan's survival was within Levi Garrison's thoughts. If this thing is done, Levi Garrison will never hurt the killer. They want Levi Garrison to see sincerity. The Garrison family prepared precious gifts. So are the Long family and Lin family. This is what Meredith and the others had never thought of. Lavilia just changed his surname and it caused a big earthquake. Hundreds of giants in Arudaya came to celebrate. What kind of scene is this? On the day that the daughter of the god of war changed her surname, the Arudaya Wang clan came together. Congratulations, Lavilia changed her surname. No one expected this. After all, Levi Garrison has been abandoned, who will listen to him? But where does everyone know? Although he is in a wheelchair, he is stronger than before. Lavilia is the daughter of God of War. Who dares to change her surname? The Protector Chapter 1305. The next day, Northampton Airport Group suddenly applied for more private jet routes. In all directions, there are all over the country. Especially in the capital, the various powers are so powerful that they can only be approved. So a private jet is on its way to Northampton. Soon, there was a scene of luxury cars gathering at the airport. It must be a big man who came. This is a little further away. The wealthy families who are a little closer have entered the battle with luxury cars. From every corner of the long convoy, they gathered towards the north of the Yangtze River. Soon, the highways around Northampton became hot. Everyone has never seen such a sight. Almost the water, land, and air in Northampton have burst apart. An unprecedented grand occasion. What happened to Northampton? Such a big battle? What is this going to do? Soon everyone realized that something big was going to happen in Northampton. It seems that in only half a day, the road is full of luxury cars, and helicopters are constantly flying around in the sky. Northampton has never been so hot. Dad, look, there are so many planes. Lavilia pointed to the air and cheered. Emma said suspiciously, I don't know what's wrong, it's the same as Northampton's accident. Everywhere was surprised by the movements of Northampton. At this time, Meredith, Harry, and others who were still in the ancestral home of the Lope family naturally received this message. I heard that Jamal Garrison, the ancestor of the Garrison clan in Oakland City, came in person, and almost all the senior Garrison clan leaders followed. Not only that, there is also the Long family patriarch who came with a high-level collective. Elder Lin also brought a lot of people here. All the royal families and royal families in the capital are here. This posture is too big. The rich and powerful people from other places are here. Heard these messages. Meredith and others were still shocked. The goal is to create a royal family. But now, there are many more terrifying than the royal family. The Garrison family came to Northampton to deal with the change of Levi Garrison's child's surname. What about the others? What are they here for? Yes, why didn't we hear a little bit of wind before? Everyone was very puzzled. In this area, they are considered to be people with faces, and they don't even know about such a big thing. Hurry up and find out what's going on, Meredith ordered. In fact, I think this is an opportunity for us. How can so many powerful people gather together before? Meredith, Harry, and the others looked at each other, and they already had a plan in their hearts. They will definitely seize this opportunity. Zoe, who was in the company, suddenly received a message that someone in the lobby wanted to see her. After the plum was dyed, he unexpectedly saw a person. Old Man Lin. Mr. Lin, you are here. Zoe subconsciously said something, and immediately changed his name. Zoe, I can't afford you so much. The words of Old Man Lin made Zoe inexplicable. What does he mean? I used to be sorry for you, I shouldn't stand by and watch. But for the sake of the family, I had to do this. Old Man Lin regretted it very much. When Jamal Garrison told him to be with him, he regretted it to the point of death. Ah, Mr. Lin is nothing, you are not wrong. Zoe was surprised. Old Man Lin looked at Zoe complicatedly and said, actually, I really want to be your foster father. I wonder if I still have this qualification. The Protector Chapter 1306. What? Zoe was stunned. Elder Lin wanted to accept her as a righteous daughter, but he even asked if she was qualified? How is this going? What happened to him? Zoe was puzzled. Before she asked for help at the most critical moment, Mr. Lin refused. Now it is this attitude. When she was about to agree, Old Man Lin sighed, forget it, I am not worthy. I just came to see you, not dare to have other ideas. Old Man Lin really didn't dare. It turned out that he wanted to accept Zoe as a righteous daughter, so he accepted. But now if he accepts plums and becomes a righteous daughter, wouldn't anyone also call him a righteous father? Then he dare not. Later, Mr. Lin left. Zoe looked dumbfounded. What is this? Not only that. Zoe also heard that all the big wealthy families in Oakland City gathered in Northampton. Even the Garrison family came. Could it be for Lavilia to change his surname? Grandma and the others just said last night that the Garrison family came today. After hearing this message, Zoe went straight to the house. The Garrison family is here, maybe it is for Lavilia. Zoe looked solemnly. What are you afraid of? What is the surname of my child, do I need them to care? Levi Garrison's face didn't matter, he was with Lavilia counting the planes in the sky. But I'm afraid of this. But fortunately, if something really happens, I can ask my adoptive father to beg for mercy. With his face, it is still possible for the Garrison family to save the Lord from the trouble. It just so happened that Mr. Lin came to see her today, his attitude changed so much. It's okay to ask him for help. Therefore, Zoe is not too worried. Levi Garrison was not at ease at all. It's just a group of fleas. At this moment, more and more wealthy families are gathering in Northampton. In the Northampton Yejia Manor, Levi Garrison's adoptive father and mother are also curious about this matter. In particular, adoptive father who were in charge of the main investigation, were even more confused. I don't know what happened, we can't find out. At this moment, outside the Garrison family manor, there was a sudden roar of engines. Everyone rushed out. I saw dozens of cars parked at the door. An old man got off the car, crowded around him. The ancestors of the Garrison clan in Oakland City are here. Hearing this identity, Joseph and others were shocked. Looking back up, the Garrison family in Northampton can actually be regarded as a branch of the Garrison family in Oakland City. The ancestors come, what is your order? Northampton Garrison family will do their best. Joseph and others knelt to the ground. Jamal Garrison directly arranged, first, you arrange a place that can accommodate a lot of people. Second, let Levi Garrison and Lavilia Garrison come. Understood. Let's do it right away. Hurry up and do it. Joseph asked. Northampton family trembled in their hearts. The Garrison clan of Oakland City is going to use Levi Garrison to operate. Especially seeing people like Jamal Garrison with solemn expressions, they even realized that something big was going to happen. Completely misunderstood Jamal Garrison's meaning. Brian and Victoria first arranged a conference room that could accommodate several thousand people. Afterwards, they went to find Levi Garrison in person. Ho ho, Levi Garrison, you have to change your child's surname. You asked for it. Brian and Victoria had come to find fault after Levi Garrison was abandoned. They were very excited when they heard that the Oakland City Garrison family was going to deal with Levi Garrison. The more miserable Levi Garrison was, the more excited they were. The Protector Chapter 1307. After all, Levi Garrison ruined their generous life and life. Now that they have finally waited for the opportunity, can they be upset? Brian and Victoria arrogantly came to Levi Garrison's residence. Levi Garrison was taken aback. I didn't expect these two people to come. Levi Garrison will arrive at Tianchen International Hall at 8 o'clock tonight. Dare you? Brian looked at him playfully. What are you going to do? Levi Garrison asked. Of course it is to clean up you, depending on whether you dare to come. Victoria also looked at Lavilia Dow, such a lovely child, it is a pity that I gave birth to the wrong family. Because a surname is about to be dealt with. Levi Garrison, no matter how brilliant you were in the past, now you can only sit in a wheelchair and be bullied by others. Even if you were once the god of war in Arudaya. Can you save your wife and daughter now? Not just watching. Brian sneered and said, how brilliant you were at the beginning, but now? Can you still be so arrogant? Be sure to come, don't let us look down on you. Brian and Victoria left arrogantly. Soon after, the Western Heavenly King came and told Levi Garrison the matter. Okay, go tonight. It was almost 8 o'clock in the evening. Zoe got the message, and the Garrison family named Levi Garrison to take Lavilia with him. She hurried to stop, but after all, she was a step slower. Zoe quickly called Mr. Lin. Old Lin, please save my child once, and the Garrison family will start with her. Please, please save my child and husband. Ah? What is it with? The old man on the other end of the phone was stunned. Who would dare to deal with them? Are you looking for death? This is not Just as he was about to say something, Jamal Garrison's voice came in his ear. Hearing this, he could only vaguely promise Zoe, "Okay, okay." Zoe hung up the phone and was relieved. In Kyng Kui Hall, Joseph and the Garrison family are waiting. Levi Garrison's adoptive father said, "I don't understand a bit. Since the Oakland City Garrison family wants to deal with Levi Garrison, why don't you just do it? Let us come instead." Many people have this doubt. It's very simple. The Garrison clan in Oakland City is a superior existence. They would bend down to do this kind of thing? Let us do it perfectly. Joseph explained. Everyone understood in an instant. The Garrison clan in Oakland City would not bend over to do this for Levi Garrison. They can only arrange it. Soon, the Northern Heavenly King pushed Levi Garrison into the field. Lavilia was embraced by Levi Garrison. "Levi Garrison, do you really dare to come?" When everyone in the Garrison family saw Levi Garrison, everyone was basically angry. 2 years ago, Levi Garrison brought too much shame to everyone. Almost ruined everyone's everything. Everyone dared not speak. Want revenge? How can it be possible? That is the Erudaya god of war. How can revenge? But what everyone thought was that Levi Garrison had become like this. Give them a chance to avenge. Why didn't I dare to come? Levi Garrison smiled. Lavilia muttered, "Dad is the god of war, so I won't be afraid of you." Ha ha ha. God of war? A joke. Where is there a disabled person in the god of war? Levi Garrison is telling you the truth. It is the Garrison clan in Oakland City that brought you here. Tonight. They want to deal with you. Who asked you to change this little bastard's last name? Our big feud is finally going to be avenged. If the Garrison family does it, you will undoubtedly die. The Protector Chapter 1308. Northampton Garrison's family has been waiting for this day for too long. Everyone wanted to get rid of Levi Garrison and hurry up. Dare he? Levi Garrison said coldly. Ha ha ha. Brian smiled. Victoria smiled. Everyone laughed. Levi Garrison, you are so arrogant. Don't dare? Why don't people dare? What kind of thing are you? The Garrison family scolded angrily. Levi Garrison hugged Lavilia and smiled and said, "For the sake of my daughter's face, I will give you another chance, otherwise you won't even have time to regret it later." The Northern Heavenly King, who was pushing the wheelchair, smiled, "You can't cry even if you cry." Ha ha ha. Levi Garrison said the opposite, "Right? You beg for mercy now, and we can help you beg for mercy later." Joseph smiled. The adoptive father and adoptive mother even looked at Levi Garrison jokingly, "What about your rhetoric at the cemetery? What mercenary million dominates the world? Yet, what about the right to say good? How about the best minister? Why are you sitting in a wheelchair now?" They were all so scared that they lay on the ground and did not dare to move. Now one by one straightened their waists, facing Levi Garrison. "Yaou. Well, there is only one chance, you have lost it." Levi Garrison smiled. "Levi Garrison, I think you've lost your mind, right? Are you talking nonsense?" The Garrison family scolded. "The big guys are here, everyone get ready." At this time, a message came from outside. Joseph and others hurriedly stood by to prepare. The door opened. Jamal Garrison brought the top of the Garrison family to come. "Ancestor." Joseph greeted him affectionately. Boom. It's just that they were all pushed away. Jamal Garrison, Kenny Garrison, and others all walked to Levi Garrison. Puff. 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 Everyone knelt to the ground one by one. Everyone shouted at Levi Garrison together. "Meet the master! Meet the little lord! Congratulations to Lavilia for changing his surname. This is a blessing for all races. The Garrison family gave away 888,800,000 in cash. Send another small main island. Northampton Yegia was stunned. But this is just the beginning. All the members of the Long family of the second family came to the front together and knelt on the ground. Meet the master. Meet the little lord. Congratulations to Lavilia for changing his surname. Send Lavilia a playground. Give me another castle. Next, Mr. Lin Jialin led the team to the court, also kneeling in front of Levi Garrison. The shouting is the same. The gifts given are all priceless. The same goes for the Qin family, the royal family in the capital. The same goes for the Zhang family of the royal family in Oakland City. The same is true of the major royal families in the capital. The same is true of the great royal families in Southampton. The big families of Arudaya came to worship together. Soon, thousands of people were accommodated here. The most frightening thing was that thousands of people all knelt down in front of Levi Garrison. Congratulations, Lavilia Garrison changed his surname. Who is the Lord? Of course it is Lavilia. Lavilia changed his surname, but Arudaya Wang clan came to congratulate. This is unimaginable. Brian was stunned. Victoria was stunned. Joseph was dumbfounded. The adoptive father and mother were dumbfounded. Northampton Garrison's family was all dumbfounded. What's the situation? Why do people call Levi Garrison the master? Isn't he a ruin? How could big clans like the Garrison family listen to him? This is impossible. Unimaginable. The Garrison family couldn't accept all this in front of them. But the most terrifying scene appeared. I saw Levi Garrison got up from the wheelchair holding Lavilia. Quiet. Silence. The Protector Chapter 1309. F***CK. Brian's eyes are about to fly out. Victoria fell to the ground with a puff, her body trembled sharply. The adoptive father and mother were dumbfounded on the spot. Joseph's blood pressure rose and he almost fainted. A disabled person stood up in front of them. This is an unimaginable thing. He has nothing to do? Nothing happened. Seeing Levi Garrison walk in front of them step by step, Joseph and others' hearts almost burst. Levi Garrison always pretends. Me see. Not only that, he was also the master of Arudaya's thousands of people who went to Wanhauman. Northampton made such a big move, it turned out to be celebrating the change of surnames for his children. All these changes were too fast for the Northampton Garrison family to adapt. They also remembered what Levi Garrison had just said to give them one last chance. They disagree. No. Why do you all listen to him? Even if his body is recovered, his position as god of war has been taken away by Ray. The adoptive father looked unbelievable. The same is true for others. Levi Garrison is not disabled, everyone accepts it. But he was deprived of the position of god of war, and he was just an ordinary person. Why does the Arudaya 10,000 clan listen to him? This is unreasonable. What is Ray? He even killed Ray's master, 4 masters, and even the first master of the East Island. Demon Blade. He is even the lord of the Levi's squad. And the capital has unanimously determined that he is still the Arudaya god of war. Jamal Garrison sneered. Boom. This fact was a shocking blow to everyone in the Garrison family. He is still the pinnacle. Do not. Stronger than before. It just covers up the glory and edge of the body. Fool. Too stupid. As long as they are smarter, just like the Oakland City Garrison clan, they are likely to rise. We were wrong in Levi. Joseph knelt down one by one. Kowtowing to Levi Garrison begging for mercy, we have no eyes. We are wrong. Boom. 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 Everyone kowtowed, and blood was bleeding from their foreheads. I dare not stop yet. Levi Garrison ignored them. Because they gave a chance just now. Northampton Garrison family didn't want it. He also has no idea. So the Garrison family didn't even have the chance to regret it. Levi Garrison did not speak. The Garrison family kept kowtow. Blood is coming. Several people even passed out directly. From now on, I don't want to see Northampton Garrison's family still active in Arudaya. Levi approached. One sentence is equivalent to a trial. The Northampton Garrison family has since disappeared, and Arudaya will never have a place for them. To survive. Garrison family's heart is ashamed. Completely finished. At this time, Meredith and Harry, who inquired about the address, were rushing to the Tien Chen International Hall. Seeing the vehicles outside the hall and a private helicopter on the apron, everyone was even more excited. If they can climb up to some of the big shots, they will definitely rise to the top in the future. If Zoe's Morris group were to be taken, the three of them would have taken off completely. The thought of this made everyone's heart surging, and they couldn't bear it anymore. Meredith and Harry entered the hall with enthusiasm. Grandpa and Grandma, I heard that Levi Garrison and his evil seed were caught here. I'm afraid they are suffering. Concubine Jenny just heard the message from Zoe. At this time, there was a thumping sound in the hall. There was a lot of movement. It's like fighting. It seems that Levi Garrison and his daughter are being abused. Concubine Jenny smiled. The Protector Chapter 1310. Let's go in and have a look. This kid wants to change his surname? Is this going to be retribution? I understand, the Garrison family came to Luay this time in Northampton. I guess they were warning Levi to change his surname. Concubine Jenny is humane. They immediately entered the hall. After entering the hall, they saw an incredible scene. Dozens of people knelt on the ground, kowtow frantically. Blood splattered, soaking the ground. They immediately recognized that this group was from Northampton Garrison's family. Are they kowtow to plead guilty? Someone stunned to death. All the rest were knocked out to blood. This. Meredith was terrified. The calf is trembling, the body is stiff, the forehead is sweating. It's so scary. Why do they kowtow? Could it be? Everyone looked at each other, and immediately thought of a possibility because of the change of the surname of the monarch to Garrison. The Oakland City Garrison clan directly blamed the Northampton Garrison clan. Special punishment. That's why the Northampton Garrison family kowtow. Spare. Joseph, whose face was full of blood, made a weak voice. While Meredith was afraid in their hearts, they stared at Levi Garrison fiercely. Blame this broom star. Look, it hurts others every time. It will affect them sooner or later. Northampton Garrison's family was kneeling in the field. The wealthy families in the capital and all over Arudaya were all standing, but Levi Garrison was sitting in a wheelchair, calm and relaxed, looking indifferent. What kind of system is this? Are you too brave? Meredith saw Levi Garrison sitting in a wheelchair holding Lavilia. She roared, Levi Garrison, do you still dare to sit? Why not roll to the ground and kneel to apologize? Harry also agreed, yes, if you do something wrong and let the family follow the punishment, can you get away with your conscience? You are a broom star, and your child is a little broom star. You still dare to sit and roll off the wheelchair? Aranand shouted at Levi Garrison angrily. This kid is too pretentious. Boom. Suddenly Jamal Garrison slapped the wooden table in half, making a huge noise. Are you talking here? Jamal Garrison roared. Frightened Meredith and Robert's group. Not only that. At this time, thousands of people in the field looked at them all. His eyes were fierce. The breath is terrifying. Dare to yell at him? Are you tired of being crooked? Going to die? Dare to do this in front of us? Presumptuous. Give it a try again. Everyone scolded. Being stared at by thousands of bigwigs. Meredith and Robert were scared to death. Everyone is going crazy. Puff. Everyone knelt to the ground uncontrollably. Sorry. We were wrong. This kind of occasion shouldn't be our voice. We are just a bunch of ants and bugs, please don't remember the villain and spare us once. Meredith and them all thought with the permission of the big guys, they spoke privately, which made the big guys angry. After all, everyone present is distinguished, and it is the existence they look up to. They are not qualified to speak on this occasion. For example, the results now provoke the bigwigs. Even the ancestors of the Garrison family were angry. This is too great a crime. At this time, even Zoe rushed over. She was mainly worried that Levi Garrison and Lavilia had an accident. When I came here, I saw people kneeling on the ground. She was dumbfounded. Chapter 1311. This. What's going on? Northampton Garrison's family was kneeling. The three families all kneeling. Levi Garrison was also trapped in it, holding Lavilia. It seems that the Garrison clan in Oakland City is going to investigate the matter of changing the surname of the king. All related families and people have been killed. Zoe was terrified when the facts were in front of him. She immediately rushed to Levi Garrison and said to everyone, "Isn't there just one surname? We don't have the surname Garrison anymore, as long as you don't embarrass my child. Our last name can be anything." Seeing this posture in front of him, Zoe was really scared. Levi Garrison smiled, "My child is named Garrison, who can control it?" Hiss. Everyone took a breath. Who dares to control this? I thought I was the king of heaven. The Garrison clan in Oakland City hopes that Lavilia's surname is Garrison. Who dares to stop? Who understands this wrong, right? Don't dare to give them 100 courage. Jamal Garrison was about to speak. Zoe's voice sounded. "Don't say anything, can't you see what the situation is now? You shut up quickly." Zoe was afraid that Levi Garrison would go on, angering the Garrison family and making things worse. At that time, no one can eat it and walk around. Zoe turned to look at Old Man Lin next to him. "Old Lin, for the sake of I was your righteous daughter before, you beg for mercy. Let us go." This. Old Man Lin was suddenly dumbfounded. At a loss. What's this? Who dares to pursue your family? Do you think it's too long to live? The fastest response was Jamal Garrison. He immediately said, "Lavilia can be named Garrison. Let this matter go." "Yes, let this matter go." Others said one after another. They also gradually realized what was going on. At present this matter needs to be kept secret. Because they are also classified as part of the Levi's squad. It can even be said to be confidential. "Thank you Garrison family, thank you, Mr. Lin, let's go." Zoe quickly pushed Levi Garrison away from here. "Aren't you getting out of here?" Jamal Garrison glared at Meredith and the others. Everyone, like a pardon, hurriedly left. As for the Northampton Garrison family, Levi Garrison believes that they can handle it well. After coming outside, Zoe and Bai Tianwang were about to push Levi Garrison into the car. Meredith and her party chased up. "Slower!" Harry shouted. "What's happening?" Zoe asked. "Hey, isn't it Levi Garrison? Take a look for yourself. Almost can't keep your child's surname. Yeah, at the critical moment, it's better to rely on a woman? If it weren't for Zoe, you asked Mr. Lin to intercede today, God knows what the consequences will be. I am afraid that all three of us will be greatly affected." Meredith and Harry said angrily. Zoe glared at Levi Garrison and said angrily, "It's really sad that a man mixes like this. If I were you, I would have committed suicide by jumping off the building. Yes, it's shameless to rely on a woman. What about the dignity of a man? Meredith even dyed the plum. Levi Garrison and the child are broom stars. Wait, it will cause you a lot of trouble in the future. They are destined to bring you bad luck. Zoe's face was cold, not talking. Today this situation is very serious. If she meets next time, who else can she ask? Levi Garrison, can you be harder yourself? If I were you, I would leave Zoe immediately, so as not to hurt them. Concubine Jenny pointed to Levi Garrison. Chapter 1312. Lavilia stared at everyone fiercely. You are not allowed to bully Dad. Be careful, Dad beats you. Lavilia knows everything. I also know that so many people were afraid of Dad just now. If this group provokes Dad, they will suffer miserable consequences. Ho ho, what can Levi Garrison do to us now? I'll just push your dad, see what happens. Someone stepped forward and was about to push Levi Garrison. The Northern Heavenly King stepped forward and grabbed his wrist and pulled him back several meters away. He staggered and fell to the ground. He stared at Levi Garrison angrily. Levi Garrison, don't think that if you hire a bodyguard, you will be fine. If you provoke a powerful person in the future, you don't know how you died. The man roared angrily. Me see. Yes, who can be blocked by this one bodyguard? Others are disdainful. They absolutely hated Levi Garrison. They are obviously here to meet big people and expand their contacts. But because of Levi Garrison, they almost disappeared. They attributed everything to Levi Garrison. Think it's Levi Garrison's fault. If it weren't for Zoe here, they would really want to beat Levi violently. This bodyguard can't stop them at all. But where do they know? This is the Northern King who has taken off his mask. Strength crushes the existence of Ray and his like. Levi's squad is in charge of martial arts. He alone can really block everything. Thousands of troops are not a problem. Zoe and Ali pushed Levi Garrison into the car and left quickly. The big broom star and the little broom star. It's really bad luck. Meredith clenched their fists tightly, and their knuckles turned white. Originally, an opportunity to take off was disturbed by Levi Garrison again. Black and Zhang were almost furious. At this time, a group of people came out in the hall. Meredith and her party hurriedly hid in the corner, letting go. Everyone bowed their heads and dared not say a word. By the way, I can't accept the gift for the little lord. Forget it. This is a big deal. The gift to the little lord must be delivered. This is the purpose of our coming to Northampton. When Meredith heard these conversations, they were very surprised. Hey? Little lord? Who is the little lord? Everyone was shocked in a cold sweat. How tall is a person who can be called a young master by the ancestors of the first family? They instantly understood that the fact that these big families gathered here was not to punish Levi Garrison for changing his surname, but for another purpose. Who is this person? Still in Northampton? Meredith glanced at each other. As if he had found a new opportunity, his eyes lit up fiercely. Because of the change of surname, everyone did not think about Lavilia. Should we follow along and have a look? Meredith suggested several people. Okay, this is absolutely fine. Harry immediately agreed. As long as they know who the Lord is, they can contact in the future. Such an opportunity cannot be let go. Immediately, luxury cars set off, heading to a certain place. Meredith and the others also quietly followed. As the convoy set off, Meredith became more and more alarmed. This direction seems a bit familiar. Soon after, these convoys stopped at the villa where the wedding house of Levi Garrison and Zoe was located. What? No? It turned out to be here. Concubine Jenny grows up her mouth. Everyone took a cold breath, and there was an unbelievable look in their eyes. No way! Everyone has this idea in their hearts. Chapter 1313. This is too coincidental. If it really is, that would be unimaginable. The team led by Jamal Garrison was full of luxury cars, but they only dared to park far away. In the next second, black-clothed figures appeared. When they saw the signs of masks and tang knives, everyone's hearts were shocked. Levi's squad. It turns out that the Levi squad is here. Meredith immediately slapped her head and said, "Little Lord? He is the Lord of Levi's squad. No wonder there is such a charisma. Yes, it is only the power of Levi's squad that brought Arudiah so many giants to come." Everyone reacted instantly. Me see. The Garrison clan in Oakland City joined the major clans to come to Northampton to make such a big disturbance. It was definitely not to punish Levi Garrison. Now the purpose is clear, it is for the Levi's squad. Call. It turned out to be the little lord of the Levi's squad. It scared me to death, I thought it was. Concubine Jenny patted her chest and let out a long sigh of relief. For a moment, everyone thought it was Lavilia. It was a coincidence after all. Now, as soon as the people from the Levi squad appeared, they dispelled all their doubts. It's not her. What are you doing here? The soldier in the Levi squad asked. I'm here to give gifts to the little lord, but the lord didn't accept it just now. Jamal Garrison quickly said. Okay, then we will accept it. After giving the gifts, Jamal Garrison hurriedly left with everyone. Meredith and the others also quietly left. As everyone knows, a pair of eyes were just staring at them in secret. The storm of Lavilia's change of surname passed. But a bigger challenge is coming. Those hidden enemies finally appeared. Levi Garrison is recovering, that is a great threat. They can't sit still. Within a short period of 1 month, a total of 37 batches of masters arrived. There are overseas, there are Arudiah. All came for Levi. Levi Garrison waited so long, they finally appeared. After all, the Levi squad had already laid a net of heaven and earth and was waiting. Just wait for them to come. Not only were all 37 batches of masters taken down, but all the people behind them were also found. And get rid of it as soon as possible. The Desert Storm Mercenary Corps is destroyed. The Nanfang Jotiankai Society was destroyed. Western Sea King Palace is destroyed. The Western Blackwater Consortium was destroyed. Within a short period of 1 month, Levi's squad attacked with thunder. The deep enemies and threats are almost completely wiped out. Some important figures in overseas countries have also been brought out and eliminated. Using Levi Garrison to make a fuss this time really brought out all the deep-seated enemies. It can be said that a huge effect has been achieved. Cut off many threats and dangers to Arudiah from the root cause. It can be said that these people and organizations were eliminated this month. The threat to Arudiah may be greater than 1 million army. Because they will infiltrate from every field, thereby disintegrating Arudiah. Especially some big people, all are extremists. If they want to use means, it may be devastating. When Levi Garrison found out these characters, Arudiah broke out in a cold sweat. This is more threatening than 1 million army attack. Regardless of the merits, it is the elimination of some people and organizations. But for the future safety of Arudiah, that is definitely a great feat. Excavation of deep-seated threats and dangers continues. Merit is also increasing. Therefore, Levi Garrison added a heavy note to his merit list. It's time to restore identity. Arudiah heard such a voice. Chapter 1314. Restore the status of Arudiah, god of war. Then what should Re do? Arudiah has now established the image of Re, the god of war. If you take it away rashly, it will cause bad consequences. Then what should I do? You can't let fight him to get back the position of Arudiah, war's god. Arudiah is having heated discussions. They must consider comprehensively. Consider every detail. This thing is not so easy to recover. No, doesn't have to be the Arudaya god of war. His contribution to Arudaya is too great, and the position of the god of war cannot express his achievements. Suddenly a voice sounded. Everyone looked at him in unison. Then what? Is it worthy of his merits? Someone asked. The man carried his hands on his back and said faintly, Feng Wang. Hiss. As soon as the words came out, the audience took a breath. Seal the king? This is definitely a level higher than the god of war. This is too scary. Although everyone was shocked, no one had any objections. After all, Levi Garrison is worthy of being a king. Well, Feng Levi Garrison is one word side-by-side king. Command the Arudaya Iron Brigade, Shura. Army, Taifuto, Oakland City Imperial Heavenly Army. And give one to the Northern City. 10 bases. 3 days later, a ceremony for the appointment of the king will be held at the Fengwang platform. In the capital. Soon the news of Arudaya's title of one word side-by-side spread. In particular, the news broke out at the ceremony for the king's conquest in the capital 3 days later. First swept Arudaya, and then swept the world. Arudaya hasn't had a king for many years. Feng Guangtai has not been used for hundreds of years. This time to be crowned king, it is naturally shocking. Who is the key to the king? Arudaya could think of only 2 people, Levi Garrison and Ray. Levi Garrison didn't even keep the position of god of war. As for Ray, although he was the god of war in Arudaya, he was far from being crowned king. Or it's far worse. Even if he defeated Levi's squad. But there is no top achievement, it is still bad. Who will this person be? Is there anyone in Arudaya who is eligible to be crowned king? If you are eligible to be crowned king, shouldn't you be famous for a long time? At least achieve a feat comparable to overwhelming 100 countries and defeating an army of millions, right? Only with such achievements can he be crowned king. But such a feat is definitely known to the whole world. But why didn't everyone hear a little message? How is this going? What secret feat can this person achieve to be crowned king by the Arudaya? Ray in the base was even more surprised when he received this message. Feng Wang? One word side by side? Command a million army? Can even I mobilize? Ray was surprised. The others were also stunned. The power of the word side by side king is overwhelming, even they are in control. This is too scary. Ray is an unruly person and hates the feeling of being restrained. Especially being supervised, he will not adapt. Or dissatisfied. Before Levi Garrison pressed him. Ray has been dissatisfied. Now that this feeling came back, he was in the same state of mind. Who is it that has become the king of the word side by side? How did we get any information before? Ray asked curiously. Yes, if he can be a king, this person must at least show merit, right? 7 kills, several people said. Messiah, who came to send the message, smiled. Ray, I will know what you think, but this one is definitely not what you can compare. Chapter 1315. Hiss. Ray took a few breaths. Messiah is too direct, right? It directly means which one is really strong as the one character side-by-side king. So strong that Ray cannot be compared with him. How strong is this? Ray thinks that he is invincible and invincible. He secretly guessed that this king of the word side-by-side came from the 4 main gates. I hope Ray will come to participate on the day of the ceremony. After Messiah released the order, he left. Ray looked sad, and he was very unhappy. M.Bg. Originally, he had obtained the position of Arudaya god of war, and he became the god of murder that everyone feared. He enjoys this feeling of invincibility. But suddenly came out a word side-by-side king. This made him unacceptable. feeling very disappointed. On the other side, Levi Garrison also received the order to seal the king. This surprised and delighted him. I thought it would only restore the identity of Arudaya, god of war. I didn't think of being sealed by the word side by side. It controls so many troops. Even the Arudaya, god of war, is under his command. Congratulations to the king. Messiah congratulated. I hope that the king will go to the capital 3 days later and accept the crowning of the king. Well, I will arrive as scheduled. Levi Garrison nodded. After Messiah left, Lavilia asked curiously, Dad, what is the word side by side king? A little more powerful than god of war. Levi Garrison scraped her little nose. Dad is the king of the same word. When Lavilia grows up, will he be a god of war? Levi Garrison teased Lavilia. Okay, Lavilia wants to be the god of war. Lavilia patted his chubby little hand. The message of Arudaya Fenghuang quickly spread across the streets and alleys, and discussions were everywhere. Even Zoe and Emma are discussing. After all, it can be heard everywhere. However, the two deliberately avoided Levi Garrison's discussion. I'm afraid he will hear it. After all, this kind of issue is a sensitive issue for Levi Garrison. If Levi Garrison's body is normal, he is still Arudaya, god of war. Surely he can give it a try in the future, maybe he will be crowned king. But now that he is in a wheelchair, this kind of topic is a shock to him. No one can stand this, right? Seeing Levi Garrison coming, Zoe and Emma immediately closed their mouths. Just as if nothing happened. They both felt embarrassed when they saw Levi Garrison staring at them strangely. Thinking if Levi Garrison heard it. Grandma, what are you talking about, Mom? Lavilia ran over. What? Zoe, cover up. Grandma, Mom is talking about one word side by side. Levi Garrison said with a smile. Hey! Zoe and Emma's hearts sank. It turned out that Levi Garrison had heard it all. The two of them looked ugly. Well, Grandma and Mother, Father is the king of the word side by side. Lavilia shouted without restraint. What? This made Zoe and Emma stunned. What Lavilia said categorically, shouldn't it be true? Both of them were in a cold sweat. I am the goddess of war. Dad is the king. Lavilia said with a smile. Call. Zoe and Emma breathed a sigh of relief. Startled them. Correct. How can it be? How could Levi Garrison, who sits in a wheelchair, become the king of one word? It is estimated that Levi Garrison was joking with Lavilia. Let Lavilia be the god of war. Children are talking nonsense. Zoe said seriously, Lavilia, you still don't want to talk to your children about this in the future? She will take it seriously. Chapter 1316. Yes, children are in the growing stage, she may remember what adults say. This is not good for growth. My son will talk less about this in the future. Emma also persuaded. She was afraid that after Lavilia went out, she saw people saying that father was the king by one word. How bad is this effect? Maybe, Lavilia has to be isolated. Well, good, stop talking. Levi Garrison nodded. After all, his status is special, Lavilia is dangerous. And the identity has to be kept secret for the time being. This is an order from Messiah. Although this month achieved a terrible record. But to say clean up? Impossible. At least there is a huge hidden danger. One is that there are still people or organizations in Arudaya that have not been caught. The second is that the secret of the return of the Blood King Palace has not yet been unearthed. Therefore, the message from Messiah was that even though Levi Garrison was named the one word king, his identity still needs to be kept secret to attract more enemies. By the way, you have nothing to do with Levi, right? Zoe was also very scrupulous about Levi Garrison's feelings and asked actively. Levi Garrison was taken aback. Hey! You also heard the message that you want to be a king of the word side by side, right? Yes, what's the matter? Levi Garrison looked at her curiously. Have you been affected in the slightest? Originally you could fight for this glory, but now it's like this. Zoe expressed his concerns. Ah? Nothing, I didn't care about it. It's not bad now, stay with you. Levi Garrison smiled. That's good, I'm also worried that you can't accept it in your heart, and you have other ideas. The message of canonization of the word side-by-side king is fermenting more and more fiercely. The impact is getting bigger and bigger. But at the same time everyone is guessing who will be the king of the word side-by-side? It's hard for everyone to imagine who this person is. Just now everyone got the exact information, this person is not Rey. Even Rey will be under the command of the king. Who can this be? There are only so many big men who have made achievements over the years, and they can be. He counted with 2 hands. Who is the one? But Arudaya, hidden dragon and tiger. There are many extraordinary people. Everyone is curious. Many people want to go to Feng Guangtai to see what is the sacred word side-by-side king. Things fermented further. The ones who can't sit still are naturally overseas. A one-word king came out, and God knows what kind of character it will be and how much threat it will cause them. At present, 1 Rey is enough for everyone. 1 more word side by side. The consequences are unimaginable. Hundreds of overseas countries have begun to use a large number of human resources to investigate the identity of the king of the word side by side. He is always a hidden danger. It must be thoroughly investigated. So everyone is waiting for the ceremony to be crowned the king 3 days later. It is possible to see the true face of Lushan Mountain. Know the true identity of this king. Time passed quickly. The next day is the ceremony of the king. The capital Fenghuang Terrace has made all preparations. Just waiting for Levi Garrison to attend the ceremony of enforcing the king. It is said that tomorrow's ceremonies will be broadcast live. We are blessed. We can witness the birth of the king of words side by side. Zoe said excitedly when he got the message. Everyone loves Arudaya very much. This kind of grand occasion can be witnessed, and it is naturally excited. Tomorrow we will wait in front of the screen. Emma was also full of expectations. You must watch it too. You must watch it too. Lavilia clamored. At this time, Levi Garrison said suddenly, Mom, Zoe, I will go to the capital tomorrow. Chapter 1317. Okay. When these words came out, Zoe and Emma were stunned. It took a long time to react. What does Levi Garrison mean? Tomorrow the beneficiation ceremony will be held in the capital beneficiary platform. He just went to the capital? Does he want to accept the kingship? How can it be possible? Levi Garrison has been sitting in a wheelchair, not to mention that he is with them these days. His achievements are definitely not enough to be crowned kings. Emma and Zoe Dai looked at each other. Emma thought for a long time but she didn't come up with a reason. But Zoe reacted. Even if Levi Garrison is not Arudaya's god of war, he is an ordinary person. But he always cares about Arudaya, how could he miss this moment of crowning the king? Afraid you want to witness it with your own eyes? At the beginning, I was afraid that I was not at ease when I handed over the position of god of war. Now he wants to see the ceremonial ceremony of the king with his own eyes. When he sees this person, he will feel relieved in his heart. So Zoe asked the reason and answered directly, okay, I will send someone to take you tomorrow. It is good. Levi Garrison nodded. For the first time in this century, the king's sealing platform was opened. This is of great significance to Arudaya. Almost all the big figures in the Arudaya army came. The commander-in-chief of the 9th War Zone, the 4 guardians of the country, Rey, and the Shura army, the Arudaya Iron Brigade, and the Taifutu army all arrived. The old men of Levi Garrison, including Azure Dragon and Tiger, all arrived near the Feng Guangtai Inn, the capital, the night before. The grand ceremony of Feng Wang has a special significance, and it is broadcast to the public almost in its entirety. As a result, we will inform the world and enhance the cohesion and self-confidence of the people of Arudaya. Secondly, it frightens all the villains at home and abroad. In the third place, only such a grand ceremony is worthy of the word side by side. The next day, early in the morning, Zoe sent a private jet to send Levi Garrison to the capital. After 8 o'clock, he had already arrived in the capital. Messiah secretly picked up Levi Garrison and went to Feng Guangtai. One word, side by side, King, I still need to wrong you in the future. After all, the enemy has not been relieved, and you have to hide for a while. Messiah looked at Levi Garrison. Sorry. It's okay. Furthermore, Arudaya has already given me such a supreme honor, which is not wronged at all. As long as Arudaya, I, Levi Garrison, do everything. The ceremony for the king will begin at 10 o'clock. Therefore, during this period of time, more and more big figures gathered in Feng Guangtai to watch the ceremony. Not everyone can go to the ceremony, only with the gift certificate in hand. These people include big figures in the Arudaya army and those who have made outstanding contributions to Arudaya, such as Baishan, Benny Quinton, the Dean of Medicine. Baishan, Benny Quinton, was talking with the Azure Dragon people at this moment. The faces of several people were full of regrets. Hey! This glory may have belonged to the boss. Tiger clenched his fist tightly. Yes, I also think that in time, brother Levi can be crowned king. What a pity. Baishan, Benny Quinton, actually knew everything, but he signed a confidentiality agreement and could only hide it. Kylan smiled and said, but it's okay. With the word side by side, King, Ray can't be so arrogant. He is also under the side by side king. Yet. But I guess Ray is absolutely unacceptable. This person is so arrogant and will never be reconciled to being led by others. I hope that the king can teach Ray a lesson. Azure Dragon Road. Ray on the other side really thought so. He really wants to see how strong a word side by side is. Boss, just got the message, Levi Garrison is here too. 7 kills told Ray this message. Chapter 1318. Hey? What is he here for? Ray's face changed. I don't know, maybe it was here to watch the ceremony, right? 7 kills. Well, where is he? Let's go over and see. Under the guidance of the 7 kills, everyone came to Levi's presence. Hey! Ray sighed when he saw Levi Garrison. In the past, you were unparalleled and invincible. But things are different, but now you are like this. Have you taken the medicine I gave you? Recover as soon as possible. I hope you will recover too. Your peak. Then you will fight me again. If you win, you will still be the place of God of War. Although Ray said so, he never thought that Levi Garrison would win. Explained by the side, you can understand the boss's words as he wants you to recover. As for a fight, you will undoubtedly lose. Even Levi's squad was trampled underfoot by the boss. The meaning of breaking the army is very simple, you only need to recover, defeat Ray, don't dream. Levi Garrison said lightly, no, you should keep the position of God of War. Counseled. There is no way. The defeat is like a mountain, and the psychology of Levi Garrison is also the same. These things have hit him too much, and it is estimated that all his fighting spirit has been worn out. A generation of God of War has really fallen. Boss, I guess he doesn't even have the courage to challenge you. Everyone sighed. Levi Garrison back then. How incredible! Who can think of today? As everyone knows, Levi Garrison is not interested in the position of god of war because he is about to become the king of the world side by side. The Arudaya war god is also under his command. Let's leave. Levi approached. The northern heavenly king behind him was his true face, so no one knew who he was. It is good. The northern heavenly king was actually breathing fire in his eyes. He was brooding about the matter of deliberately losing to Ray last time. Sooner or later, he will defeat Ray. Hold on. Did you let you go? Greedy Wolf said coldly. You must promise to fight the boss before you can leave. The three of them stared at Levi Garrison. Levi Garrison really has no interest in Ray. Even his master and senior brother, he can explode, and Ray really doesn't want to hit him. It's just a waste of time. Not interested. Levi Garrison refused. This is not your decision. As long as your body recovers, you must accept the boss's engagement. Otherwise, don't even think about leaving. The crowd stopped Levi Garrison and refused to let him go. What are you doing? Are you looking for a fight? Come on. There were bursts of voices. It turned out that Azure Dragon and the others came. My boss is bullied by you? Ray refuses to accept the two of us to try. Tiger was full of hostility and approached Ray. Others stared at them angrily. The war is about to start. Ray could only gritted his teeth and watched, and said nothing. Boss, it's great that you are alive. We also hold a funeral for you. After such a long time, everyone was full of emotion when seeing Levi Garrison. You guys are not making trouble for me, right? Levi Garrison smiled. He was actually worried that the brothers could not control their emotions. Boss, we don't have one. It's great to see you. Everyone greeted the past. Soon after, the ceremony of enforcing the king will begin. Everyone needs to go back to their respective viewing positions. Levi Garrison asked the Northern Heavenly King to push away. Well, I don't seem to see Levi Garrison anymore, isn't he here to watch the ceremony? Ray looked puzzled. Chapter 1319. They were looking for Levi Garrison's place to watch the ceremony, and so did Azure Dragon and the others. Why did Levi Garrison disappear suddenly? The most important thing is that the seats for watching the ceremony are quickly filled up. Levi Garrison never showed up. This shows that there is no place for the viewing ceremony. Everyone looked at the list of gifts, and there was also Levi Garrison's name on it. This shows that there is no him at all. How did he come? No one stopped him? Where did he go? Forget it, let's wait for the ceremony to begin. Everyone's attention is on the ceremony. At this moment, the ceremony is ready, and it is about to proceed. And it is live broadcast throughout. In Northampton, Zoe and a few people sat in front of the screen and waited. Lavilia slapped his little hand and shouted, "Dad, Dad!" Zoe said earnestly, "Lavilia, if Dad is injured, he can really show up. You must remember that Dad is a hero." Lavilia nodded, "Well, Lavilia understands, Dad is a hero. Let's take a closer look later, is there a Dad on the viewing platform?" Zoe smiled. Okay. For Zoe and Emma, it is also an honor for Levi to attend the ceremony. Because everyone knows that those who can go to the ceremony are those who have contributed to Arudaya. Even if other people are rich and powerful, they will not do it. Going to the ceremony itself is a kind of supreme glory. So they all look forward to seeing Levi Garrison on the viewing platform. Many people watched the live broadcast. Almost everyone in Arudaya is watching. Meredith is also watching. Since they were also Arudaya fighters before, they have a little feeling. A large group of people was also organized to watch. Everyone was waiting in front of the screen. Meredith also gave a speech to everyone, plausibly, with the existence of Ray War God and the King of one word, I am stable in Arudaya. Only when we are stable can we become prosperous in our family can develop. We have to thank these people. Yes, this is, no matter how we develop, we must have great stability. We should really thank these heroes. Robert sighed and said, if you can go to the ceremony, then there will be no regrets in this life. It's a pity that everyone who can go to the ceremony of honoring the king must have made outstanding contributions to Arudaya, and it can even be said to be a national weapon to qualify. Meredith is also very sorry. With their abilities, it is simply impossible to go to the ceremony. So I can't even think about it. But to have such an experience, it would definitely blow up. Even those giants dare not despise it. Concubine Jenny smiled contemptuously. I heard that Levi Garrison also went to the ceremony. It was Zoe who sent it. What? He can also go to the ceremony? What qualifications does he have? He's just a useless person. If he really has such qualifications, he should be given to the elders. What's the use of him? Everyone said coldly. Impossible? How can Levi Garrison go to the ceremony? I haven't heard anyone invite him before. Yes, if you are invited to the ceremony, you need an invitation letter. Levi Garrison didn't receive it. Here. Forget it, we will know it when we broadcast it immediately. There are not many guests watching the ceremony, basically everyone can see it. Levi's presence or absence, you will know at a glance. There are many people waiting for the ceremony. Whether it is Arudaya or the world. At this time, Levi Garrison was taken to the designated place by Messiah, changed his clothes, and prepared to take up the ceremony. At 10 o'clock, the much-anticipated ceremony of enforcing the king officially began. Chapter 1320. The Supreme King sealing platform is guarded by hundreds of guards. This is the symbol of Arudaya. It is the supreme glory. The king sealing platform, which has never been opened in this century, has finally opened. After all, there are not a few real kings in the history of Arudaya. Especially the word side-by-side king. Today, the Arudaya Fenghuang platform opens. Canonization one word side-by-side king. Please keep things. Soon, the 3 tokens were brought to the top of the king's confinement platform. The token is simple. 1 ring. 1 mask. A long sword. The ring is called Yanlong ring, and a dragon head is vivid on the golden ring. The mask is called Yanlong mask, and the golden mask is in the shape of a dragon. The long sword is called the Yanlong sword, and there is a dragon shadow on the sword. These 3 tokens have been kept in the treasury for hundreds of years. Only the existence of the king can be worthy of it. A token that has been in the dust for hundreds of years is finally born. The 3 tokens are the symbol of the king side by side. Seeing the token is like seeing the king side by side. A token can mobilize thousands of troops. Even the Yanlong sword can be cut first and then played. This is the king of the word side by side. When the 3 tokens came out, the audience was silent to the point where the needle dropped. Everyone stared at the 3 tokens fiercely. Ray only feels dry mouth and shortness of breath. Who doesn't want to be the king? He has a new goal instantly. Must become a highly anticipated existence. For the rest of your life, you must be crowned king. The ceremony is being broadcast live, and the camera is swept over the 3 tokens one by one. The people of Arudaya are going crazy. He kept 3 tokens in his mind. This is the symbol of Arudaya. It belongs to everyone's glory. Zoe pointed to the screen and taught by example, when Lavilia grows up, he will be a useful person to Arudaya. Soon, the camera shifted, and every guest of the ceremony fell on the viewing platform. The camera flicked across their faces. Zoe and Lavilia are looking for Levi Garrison. It's a pity that the camera has passed everyone from start to finish, but only Levi Garrison can't be seen. Zoe carefully confirmed that there is indeed no such thing. She has an ugly face, and her mood is down. Could it be that Levi Garrison doesn't even have the qualification to observe the ceremony now? People who have achieved such glory can't even witness this kind of moment. Really embarrassed. I'm afraid that Levi Garrison is not far from the conferring king terrace at the moment, just look at it. Silently. Thinking of the lonely figure and lost expression, Zoe felt distressed. There is no dad. Lavilia's small face also had a smile. Black's house. Haha, we've seen it, and it's been replayed once, but there is no Levi coming to watch the ceremony. Haha, you are all deceived by Levi Garrison. What qualifications does he have to go to the ceremony? Didn't I say that? Guan Li is the most important weapon of the country, Levi Garrison is a handicapped knitting ceremony. Everyone laughed. Yeah, it's probably the kid who fooled them. It's a pity that he didn't expect to have a live broadcast. Every guest at the ceremony was in the camera. Meredith sneered. This kid is really unscrupulous in order to attract the attention of others. I can think of reasons such as watching the ceremony. Robert was extremely disappointed with Levi Garrison. If he really appears on the viewing platform, it will not only be our shame, but also Arudia's. Forget it, don't talk about him. Immediately the king appeared side by side. Let's look at it. Everyone focused their attention on the screen again. Immediately, the one who stood side by side with the king appeared. Chapter 1321. The eyes of the whole world are focused on this moment. Everyone wants to know who the word side by side king is. Especially Ray and Arudia's enemies want to know more. Where is this sacred? How much threat and danger it will cause them? So for this, they must know what is the sacred word side by side king? The next second is the moment for the king to take the stage side by side. Messiah shouted, and the king's robe was invited. The unicorn on the robe is as lifelike and vigorous as a mountain. Seeing the robe is like seeing the word side by side the king. Please one word side by side the king. In the next second, surrounded, a tall figure appeared on the conferring king terrace. The figure is as tall as a mountain, and the momentum is straight into the sky. Call. He just stepped forward, and a majestic breath filled the audience. It suppressed everyone's breathing, almost unable to breathe. The strong. Super strong. Ray, these masters can feel it. The existence on the king's stage is simply invincible. Even Ray had a trace of fear in his heart. As soon as he saw the word side by side, he had no idea of any challenge. This person gave him the same feeling as those of the strongest in the northern Liang Gate clan. Just exuding a little momentum, it oppressed him with a hint of courage. But when everyone wanted to see who he was, the Yanlong mask covered it. His speed is too fast. Almost the moment he appeared, he grabbed the Yanlong mask and put it on. No one caught this shot. Especially the naked eye. Just about to see his face, I missed it in an instant. Okay. More than that. The people staring on the screen couldn't see clearly. Levi Garrison had already put on the mask. It's too fast, right? We don't even see clearly. What is the origin of this word side by side? Meredith asked while holding the reading glasses. I can't see clearly. We can only look for the lens. Everyone pinned everything on close-up shots. See if there are any snapshots. It is impossible to rely on the naked eye in live broadcast. Northampton is here. After Lavilia saw that tall figure appeared, Lavilia immediately shouted, "Dad, it's Daddy! Daddy has appeared!" Seeing Lavilia's excitement, Zoe and Emma looked at each other helplessly. Look! This is the consequence. Levi Garrison said casually. Lavilia really believed it. Hey! Zoe sighed. When children grow up, they will be deeply impressed by the words and deeds of adults. We'll take these as real to see. Lavilia, that's not a father, let's keep watching. Zoe said. Oh fine. Lavilia stopped talking, sitting on a small stool, looking at the screen. At this time, Levi Garrison also put the Yanlong ring on his finger. Messiah put on a royal robe for him. He is holding the Yanlong sword. Laugh. One pulled out the Yanlong sword, and the golden sword glowed dazzlingly. The golden light was so dazzling that people couldn't open their eyes. Levi's sword points to the sky. A wave of invincibility in the world, overwhelmingly present. This is his time. This era is called the King of One Word Side by Side, also called Levi Garrison. The grand ceremony of One Word Side by Side King's canonization is about to end. From now on, Arudaya will be canonized side by side with the king. Who has objections? Messiah asked towards the bottom. Everyone was silent. Ray is powerless. He is not as good as. He can only shut up and not speak. I have objections. Suddenly a voice resounded through the audience. The Return of the God of War, the Protector. Chapter 1322. This is a live broadcast for the whole world. Almost everyone can see it. This sound rang. The scene was silent. There was dead silence. Everyone was stunned. The countless audiences in front of the screen were also silent. No one expected such a scene to happen. For the first time in hundreds of years, there are people who are not satisfied with the ceremony for the first appointment of the king. This is the king of the word side by side. Although he put on a mask when he appeared, his momentum suppressed everyone in an instant. Even Ray was convinced. Ray probably guessed that the word side by side king came from a powerful man. For example, 4 gate valves. Only such a hidden power can cultivate such an invincible powerhouse. So he can't take it anymore. Only he knows the most how terrifying the powerhouses from forces like the 4 gate valves are. Even he took it. But some people refuse to admit defeat. This is equivalent to violating Messiah's meaning. Everyone in the field was looking for the source of the sound. Even Levi Garrison was very curious. Who is not convinced by himself? The first thing he thought of was Ray. But Ray was silent. Who is not convinced? Messiah shouted. I'm not convinced. One person stood up. Woman. It turned out to be a woman. No one thought of this. But this woman, how many people present dare to provoke? Because she is one of the 3 major army groups in Arudaya, the leader of the Great Wall Army that is as famous as the Arudaya Iron Brigade and the Shura Army. She is not well known internationally, but she has a fierce reputation within Arudaya. Also the only female god of war. But her edge was concealed by Levi Garrison and Ray. Let her have no room to play. So few people know it by now. But anyone who knows her dares to ignore her. Including Ray. The Great Wall Army is famous for its iron and blood. And as the leader, the goddess of war is even more domineering and iron-blooded, the famous female Shura. Otherwise, how can we command such an iron-blooded team? The battlefield has always been dominated by men, and it is a man's romance to charge with a gun. On horseback, you can hardly see women. But a woman can win the army and suppress the quartet, which shows how terrifying this woman is. Her name is Terry. The meaning of the name couldn't be simpler. The family hopes she is stronger than men. The most important thing is that Terry is about the same age as Levi Garrison, which is even more terrifying. A woman so young can be a god on the battlefield. Horrible. When everyone saw Terry appear, they all gasped. It's just the Iron Lady of the battlefield. Dare to stand up at this time. When Ray saw her, his face became a little weird, as if he had thought of something. Terry is tall and tall, with a total of 175. A face is extremely cold. The body exudes an iceberg-like breath, making people afraid to approach half a step. Levi Garrison is actually not familiar with Terry. Most of it is heard. Only met once. So he was curious why Terry refused to convince himself? Messiah asked sharply, "Why do you refuse to accept Terry?" Terry said coldly, "The reason is as follows. First, the king of the word side by side must be a man of great achievements, but I have not heard of his achievements in front of me. Secondly, the king has to come up with the true ability to make us surrender. Third, I always think that there is only one person in Arudaya who is closest to the king, that is Levi Garrison." Terry had 3 reasons. The audience was stunned. Ray is going crazy. Levi Garrison looked incredible. Chapter 1323. Terry, who only had a relationship with himself, felt that he was the most hopeful to be crowned king. She was also cited as the reason. Why is this? Levi Garrison didn't understand. Ray doesn't understand it. It's okay to say that he is not worthy of being a king. It can be said that he is not as good as Levi Garrison. He defeated Levi Garrison and then suppressed the Temple of Heaven. But even Terry felt that Levi Garrison was the closest to being the king of the word side by side. Isn't that just thinking that Levi Garrison is better than him? He is dissatisfied. Thousands of dissatisfaction. A battle with Levi Garrison is imperative. You must prove that you are better than Levi Garrison. Terry, are you wrong? With me, do you dare to say that Levi Garrison is the closest to the king? He is my defeated man. I even defeated the Levi's squad, which is stronger than the Blood King. Palace. I can do what he can do, and I can do what he can't do better. Do you dare to say that he is the closest? Where do you put me? Ray, who cannot tolerate sand in his eyes, questioned Terry on the spot. Ho ho, don't you know how to win? You have the advantage. Anyway, in my eyes, he is better than you. No, in the hearts of many people, he is still better than you. You are at best a fierce general, he is the commander-in-chief. This is the difference. Terry said coldly. When I said it, my eyes flashed with confidence. She has a mysterious admiration for Levi Garrison. Even Levi Garrison didn't feel it himself. You. Ray was about to explode. But there is no legal proof. I'll talk about you later. This is not the time to argue with you, mother-in-law. Terry glared at Ray. The eyes of the field focused on Terry and Levi Garrison. However, Terry's 3 reasons were mostly supported. Especially for the first 2 reasons, everyone is even more supportive. The titled king must have merit and strength in hand. Otherwise, why persuade the public? This is a character who suddenly appeared, and he was named the king of the word side by side. Everyone is curious, or dissatisfied. In fact, Messiah could directly announce the identity of the king of side by side. But they have their own considerations. As a result, let Levi Garrison continue to purge the enemy in secret. Second, it can disrupt and deter the enemy. After all, does anyone know who the word side by side king is? What is the background? How strong is it? What kind of achievements have you made? How big is the threat? Everything is unknown. The unknown is the most feared. If you don't understand, everyone will not dare to do it lightly. Everyone will investigate who it is, which will consume a lot of manpower and financial resources. At the same time, it will become more and more fearful. This is Messiah's secret to Levi Garrison's hiding. Terry is really a woman. She stared at Levi Garrison, and said loudly, "Please give me a reason to be convinced." Give everyone a reason to convince. Yes, we also want a reason. Someone came out, everyone supported. All have a reason. This. Even Messiah was at a loss in this situation. They even considered someone sabotaging the ceremony. But this situation is indeed not considered. In their opinion, no one will question. As a result, a goddess of war appeared. They all looked at Levi Garrison and threw the problem to Levi Garrison. Let him solve it. Levi Garrison also looked helpless. This Messiah wants to prove himself to convince the public. Chapter 1324. Problem. Big problem. Messiah actually threw it to himself. Messiah also had his own considerations. At present, one-word side-by-side king must not expose too many votes. Especially identity and strength. It is best not to expose, and leave the unknown to the enemy. But Terry's persecution gave them no way. So Messiah expects Levi Garrison to solve all this by himself. This matter is of great importance, not only Terry and the others want to know, but also overseas. And threats to Arudaya. This is a good opportunity for them. Even if you know a little bit of clues. But according to Terry's persecution, Levi Garrison's true identity must be forced out. Come on. Give me a convincing reason. Seeing everyone stunned, Terry roared. The major powers of the major countries around the world who are watching want to know more. Urgently. They are more anxious than Terry. Levi Garrison slowly retracted the Yanlong sword into its scabbard. Boom! Suddenly he raised his head, his eyes gleaming like a thunderstorm. That's a look in the eyes of the world. At this moment, anyone who came into contact with Levi Garrison's eyes was almost frightened. This look is terrible. It's something everyone has never seen before. Everyone had a numb scalp and blood flowed back. Terror. Horrible. Even Ray was overwhelmed by this momentum. This is far beyond oneself. Are the others dissatisfied? Levi Garrison asked coldly. No, nothing. We serve. We all serve. I just followed Terry to ask for a reason, and all was shocked at this moment. No one objected again. This is momentum. Messiah nodded again and again. Levi Garrison's handling method was really good. First he used his aura to suppress everyone. Now there is only one Terry left. Just convince her. It's much easier to deal with this way. The others were all frightened, which caught Terry off guard. It stands to reason that as long as someone comes out, everyone will jump out. It's just that something is not right, and I was frightened. She is the only one left. You are the only one who refuses to accept Fan War God. Levi Garrison looked at her and said. I just don't accept it. If you have the ability, you can use your merits and skills, or take off your mask. Terry never backed down. Okay, then I will give you an explanation. Levi Garrison beckoned, come with me. Terry followed. Levi Garrison handed her a book, which recorded the forces and people that Levi Garrison and Levi's squad had eliminated within 1 month. Messiah suddenly reacted, what Levi Garrison showed her. It is worthy of being the king of the word side by side, this is all prepared in advance. At this moment, everyone present was short of breath, and couldn't wait to know what was in the book. Overseas forces and countries want more. It's just that this is a secret thing, and naturally it won't appear in the lens. Hey! Hey! Terry panted heavily and read the Book of Merit. Clothes. Uppercase service. The merits in this Book of Merits alone are enough for him to be crowned king. But who is under this mask? Terry is very curious. But this is not important anymore. The important thing is that she was convinced. No matter who he is. I served it. I apologize. Terry could afford to let it go, and took the initiative to admit his mistakes. What? After hearing this sentence, everyone present changed their faces. Fan War God, what did you see? Chapter 1325. This is what everyone is curious about. What will be the content that can be conquered by just a glance at a rebellious god of war? Terry glanced at everyone and said, confidentiality. From the moment she saw the merit book, she probably knew Messiah's plan. If you want to know, you can go and see if you are not convinced like me. Terry said coldly. Levi Garrison echoed, yes, anyone who doesn't agree with me can come and see. Levi Garrison's sharp and domineering eyes swept across everyone's face. There was no one in the audience who dared to object. Even if I have an idea, I dare not say it. Scared? Things are here. Come if you want to see. Levi Garrison suddenly lowered his voice and shouted to everyone. Everyone looked up at the merit book on the stage from time to time, but no one dared to go up and read it. Okay, here's a chance for you, put things away. Levi Garrison said coldly. In the end, there was no one to take another look. Messiah looked at Levi Garrison with more admiration. Terry's sudden attack was originally an accident. But he was saved by Levi Garrison abruptly. Not only that, but also more confused and deterred the enemy. Because no one except Terry knows what the merit book is. In this way, the more mysterious Levi Garrison can be covered. More confusing. Terry did so but promoted the effect. Then I announce the end of the ceremony of enforcing the king. From now on, the king will take office side by side. Guard the northern city. Protect Erudaya and raise our country. In this way, the ceremonial end of the king's seal. The word Erudaya appeared side by side. The whole country celebrated in Erudaya, but the morale of the overseas countries was greatly reduced. For a long time in the future, they will only go to find out who the king is. The ceremony was over, and the king was gone. This wants to make those who want to know him plan to fail. Terry was stopped on the way by Ray. What are you going to do? You are a little higher than me in terms of position. I'm not afraid. As far as strength is concerned, I am not afraid. Come if you want to fight. Terry stared at Ray. Ray snorted coldly, no, I won't beat women. I'm coming to you for other things. Do you want to know what I saw? Terry asked. Ray shook his head. He was convinced of the word side-by-side king. So what Terry sees, he doesn't care. No, come with me and find an acquaintance. It is good. Terry followed. No one thought that this acquaintance was Levi Garrison. Levi Garrison, even Terry feels that I am inferior to you. That's good, I will give you a statement of war. As long as you recover that day, I will challenge you. I defeated you for the second time. Fan War God witness. Next I will do everything possible to restore you to the top. Ray couldn't bear this tone. He must tell Terry and his like that he is the closest to the existence of a word side-by-side king. Not Levi Garrison. Forget it, you are not my opponent, there is no point in hitting you. Levi Garrison looked indifferent. Levi, don't be too presumptuous, don't do whatever you want with your disability. Do you really think you can be my opponent? Ray shouted angrily. 7 killing a few people is even more angry. However, Terry looked at Levi Garrison with a complicated expression. Last time I hurriedly said goodbye, I didn't say a few words, now we meet in this way. However, I believe you will get better, and I will do my best to help you recover. I still think you are better than Ray. Chapter 1326. Terry's words were categorical, but Ray was blown up. Do not. Every effort must be made to restore Levi Garrison. Let him return to the top. He has to defeat again to break all doubts. Ray decided to go to the gate of Bai Liang by himself, to personally ask for ancient medicine and ancient medical techniques to treat Levi Garrison. Terry had the same idea, and he wanted to treat Levi Garrison as soon as possible so that he could defeat Ray. Coincidentally, Terry also came from the 4 gate valves. It is different from Bai Liang gate valve only by inheritance, and its strength and composition are almost the same. This also explains why Terry is less than 30 years old, but can become the only female god of war in Erudaya. She comes from a famous family, the Four Gate Valves. No matter how tough and talented other women are, they can't be cultivated, and it's difficult to make achievements on the battlefield. Terry was born into a famous family, but the more such an ancient hidden power, the more traditional and ancient concepts it possesses. For example, patriarchal preference. Terry has no children under her father's knees, and only a few girls, so it can be seen from the name that Terry trains boys from a young age. But no matter how hard Terry tried, he couldn't win the favor of the high-ranking officials in Nanjiang. Always feel that she is inferior to a man. Even suppress everywhere. In this circle where everyone advocates patriarchy, it is difficult for Terry to have a place to survive. Terry came to the dunya and made meritorious deeds in a rage. Want to break into a world? Tell the entire southern Xinjiang clan the daughter can also go to the battlefield to kill the enemy. And also make contributions. She adheres to a principle to break this outdated concept of the southern Jiangmen clan. As expected of a famous family, Terry broke into a world. Become the only female god of war in Arudaya. Therefore, Terry also has ancient medicine and ancient medical techniques in her body. She also wanted to cure Levi Garrison. This battle is imperative. Of course, if you get better, I will help you. It seems that Ray will help you. 2. It is estimated that you will get better soon. Terry seems to have full confidence in Levi Garrison. Ray said immediately, "Okay, that's it. I will try my best to treat. We will fight a fair and just fight it." That time. Well, it is booked. Terry nodded. Levi Garrison was really speechless. Decided for him? He still doesn't speak. Don't worry, I will fully support you. Then you will take the position of God of War. Terry smiled at Levi Garrison with a gentle spring breeze. This scene made Ray and others dumbfounded. He has known Terry for a long time. Where does this lady go? Isn't it all cold? It's a frosty gesture to anyone. Only smiled at Levi Garrison. Still support him so much. Ray clenched his fists tightly, his nails embedded in the flesh, and he was about to bleed. Levi Garrison was also curious. Is this woman so supportive of herself? I only had a relationship with her. Listen to my orders. Ray and Terry take their men down to meet the king of one character. He has important instructions. At this time, Messiah conveyed the order. After all, the king took office side by side, and he wanted to meet his subordinates. Really? The two left after being ordered. But before leaving, Terry said to Levi Garrison, "You wait here first, and I will come to you when I'm done." Okay. Levi Garrison was curious. Isn't the famous goddess indifferent and ruthless? Chapter 1327. Soon Levi Garrison appeared as the king of the word side by side. In addition to his old ministry, there are Ray, Terry, and others. Everyone is convinced of this king of the word side by side. Everyone wants to know what the face under the Yanlong mask looks like. I have only one purpose for calling you together. I warn you, spend your time and energy on the right path, and don't waste it on trivial things. As Arudaya's god of war, the purpose is to protect Arudaya and protect the mountains and rivers. Don't do other unnecessary things. Terry and Ray were both stunned when the words of the word side by side king came out. When others hear this, they don't feel anything. When the two heard this, they felt shocked. Didn't they just do something unimportant? Waste time and energy on Levi Garrison, m.bg. This seems to be talking about them? Do not. Just warning them. But this is what just happened. How did the word side by side king know? A fear came to my heart. Is he being watched? While they are more curious about the word side by side, they are more convinced at the same time. Levi Garrison really didn't want these two goods to waste things on himself, so he could only use this. Method to remind him. However, the two would naturally not give up on this matter. If there is a task, I will notify you in a specific way. Okay, let's go. After Levi Garrison instructed everyone, he left quickly. Ray, haven't you always been unruly and rebellious? Don't anyone accept it? Why? Now. Terry sneered. The Ray she is familiar with is not like this. He should be the first to jump out. Ray looked helpless, facing him. I don't even have the courage to challenge. Am I still not satisfied? Have you ever thought about his origin? I guess he mostly came from the Four Gates, and even more terrifying. Otherwise I can't imagine. Anyone in the dunya can reach this point. This is the first time that Ray has truly subdued. The gap is too big. Ray knew that he couldn't be defeated again as soon as his momentum came out. Can't catch up. He doesn't even have a trace of courage. Levi Garrison is the only motivation for him to stick now. This is the only place where he can find his presence. Count you acquaintance. Terry snorted coldly, preparing to leave. Wait, why do you support Levi Garrison so much? Ray asked. He is a little upset. In terms of friendship, he and Terry are a little deeper. Why did Terry and Levi Garrison support him like this because of only one fate? This makes him very depressed. You do not understand. Terry left a word. The other side. Levi Garrison and Bai Tianwang returned to Northampton. Due to the ceremony of the king, private routes were not approved. So the two drove back to Northampton. In the car, Levi Garrison smiled. It's better now. Besides Levi's squad, I have other permissions. It's even more convenient to do things. Levi Garrison is already planning what to do next. Especially the secret of Arudaya's biggest hidden danger and the resurgence of the Blood King Palace were found. Gradually at night, the car drove into a remote place. The Northern Heavenly King also began to be alert. Boom! At this moment, suddenly two big rocks smashed down from the mountains on both sides, coming towards the car. Levi Garrison smiled and said, "Oh? Someone ambush me here? Interesting." Chapter 1327. Soon Levi Garrison appeared as the king of the word side by side. In addition to his old ministry, there are Ray, Terry, and others. Everyone is convinced of this king of the word side by side. Everyone wants to know what the face under the Yanlong mask looks like. I have only one purpose for calling you together. I warn you, spend your time and energy on the right path, and don't waste it on trivial things. Join Telegram group for fast update. As Arudaya's god of war, the purpose is to protect Arudaya and protect the mountains and rivers. Don't do other unnecessary things. Terry and Ray were both stunned when the words of the word side by side king came out. When others hear this, they don't feel anything. Join Telegram group for fast update. When the two heard this, they felt shocked. Didn't they just do something unimportant? Waste time and energy on Levi Garrison, m.bg. This seems to be talking about them? Do not. Just warning them. But this is what just happened. How did the word side by side king know? A fear came to my heart. Is he being watched? While they are more curious about the word side by side, they are more convinced at the same time. Levi Garrison really didn't want these two goods to waste things on himself, so he could only use this method to remind him. However, the two would naturally not give up on this matter. If there is a task, I will notify you in a specific way. Okay, let's go. After Levi Garrison instructed everyone, he left quickly. Ray, haven't you always been unruly and rebellious? Don't anyone accept it? Why? Now. Terry sneered. The Ray she is familiar with is not like this. He should be the first to jump out. Ray looked helpless, facing him. I don't even have the courage to challenge. Am I still not satisfied? Have you ever thought about his origin? I guess he mostly came from the four gates, and even more terrifying. Otherwise I can't imagine. Anyone in the dunya can reach this point. This is the first time that Ray has truly subdued. The gap is too big. Ray knew that he couldn't be defeated again as soon as his momentum came out. Can't catch up. He doesn't even have a trace of courage. Levi Garrison is the only motivation for him to stick now. This is the only place where he can find his presence. Count you acquaintance. Terry snorted coldly, preparing to leave. Wait, why do you support Levi Garrison so much? Ray asked. He is a little upset. In terms of friendship, he and Terry are a little deeper. Why did Terry and Levi Garrison support him like this because of only one fate? This makes him very depressed. You do not understand. Terry left a word. The other side. Levi Garrison and Bai Tianwang returned to Northampton. Due to the ceremony of the king, private routes were not approved. So the two drove back to Northampton. In the car, Levi Garrison smiled. It's better now, besides Levi's squad, I have other permissions. It's even more convenient to do things. Levi Garrison is already planning what to do next. Especially the secret of Arudaya's biggest hidden danger and the resurgence of the Blood King Palace were found. Gradually at night, the car drove into a remote place. The Northern Heavenly King also began to be alert. Boom! At this moment, suddenly two big rocks smashed down from the mountains on both sides, coming towards the car. Levi Garrison smiled and said, "Oh? Someone ambush me here? Interesting." Chapter 1328. The Northern Heavenly King avoided two boulders with superb driving skills, but the road ahead was also blocked. At the next moment, a group of people appeared around. They came to Levi deliberately. Although Levi Garrison was an ordinary person on the surface, he was the god of war in Arudaya after all. Who dares to move him in Arudaya? But someone wanted to move him. Who is the one? A few breaths are restrained, but they contain surging power like a sea. Grandmaster. Several people are master-level powerhouses. Not weaker than Fu Zakaria's existence. Hey? By Liang Gate Valve. Because Levi Garrison felt the same breath as Ray from them. That's for sure. This group of people belonged to the North Liang family. You know me? Levi Garrison asked. The leader said coldly, "Of course, the former Arudaya war god Levi Garrison." "What are you coming to do with me?" Levi Garrison asked. "Let's investigate an incident. 5 members of our Bai Liang Gate sect died innocently in the capital. No murderer has been found yet. But the 5 of them are related to you when they came out of the mountain, so we specifically come to ask you." "What are we asking, what are you answering? Understand? The disciples of Bai Liang clan are all domineering, with a condescending posture. Is Fu Zakaria's death? Yes, it's wrong. You know it." Everyone's eyes of the North Liang clan stalked with cold light. Levi Garrison smiled, "Then you ask the right person, I killed him." What? If the language is not shocking and endless, the North Liang family members are going crazy. They investigated for a long time, but there was no result. I wanted to take Levi Garrison away and ask to see if he could find any clues. But no one would think that King's Landing would be the murderer when he digs for it. Outrageously, dare to kill me, a member of the Northern Liang family. Several people immediately showed anger and stared at Levi Garrison. Fu Zakaria colluded with an adulterer and killed my Arudaya people. He also tried to use means to control the position of the god of war. The sin deserves it. Levi Garrison glared at everyone. Pooh! I'm a member of the North Liang family, do I still need to abide by these rules? Yes. We do whatever we want. Several people are arrogant and domineering. It's the style of being a celebrity. So you don't know what to do? Do you have a big summer in your eyes? Levi Garrison asked coldly. Ho ho, Fa? We are King Fa. Don't use your rules to restrain us. No one in this world can restrict us. The attitude of the North Liang family is resolute. Levi Garrison was even more angry. As long as you are on the land of Arudaya, you have to abide by everything Arudaya. This is the minimum. Follow the fart. This is the era of the weak and the strong. Whoever is strong has the final say. Even in the dunya, we want to control us? We casually slap the middle-class disciples down the mountain and become the god of war. That's it. We want to control us. This is the deep-rooted thinking of these big influences. They are all unfettered. Levi Garrison sneered and said, if you are safe and stable, no one will take care of you. But if you want to make things happen, I am the first to not agree with Levi Garrison. For example, like Fu Zakaria, I will punish him on the spot. Levi Garrison was cold all over. Only you want to control us too. Several people laughed. Not to mention that Levi Garrison had a humble background and no good background and resources. Just say that he is obviously useless now, but he is so arrogant. Looking for death. Kill him and take it back to restore his life. Several masters of Bai Liang's Gate clan stared at Levi Garrison. Chapter 1329. Now that the murderer is found, just kill it directly. Only you. Both Levi Garrison and the Northern Heavenly King laughed. Okay. The disciples of Bai Liang clan were taken aback for a moment, and looked at the two of them incredulously. Is this the opposite? Shouldn't they say it? Take it. The masters of Bai Liang's Gate clan moved, turning into a bolt of lightning to kill Levi Garrison. Little North, M.BG. Levi Garrison whispered. At the same time, light a cigarette and smoke. The masters of the Northern Liang family fought against the Northern Heavenly King. The two sides fought hard. But no one at the gate of Bai Liang could get close to this car for half a minute. This time, a dozen masters in the North Liang gate inquired about this together. Seeing that the Northern Heavenly King was so terrifying, all the masters in the dark appeared together. My God! F***ck. Damn me! The subconscious exclamations reflected the inner shock of the masters of the Northern Liang family. They would never have thought that the low-level world in their eyes actually had such a terrifying master. It's terrible. The king of the northern heavens was in charge of killing, and his force was surging like a mountain in the sea, and the dozen masters of the Northern Liang clan could not breathe. The fighting between the two sides has become fierce. Levi Garrison's cigarette was slowly about to finish. Patter. Boom. After smoking the last puff, the last master of the North Liang gate valve fell to the ground. Incredible. This makes these arrogant people of the Northern Liang family unacceptable. There is such a horrible existence in the world? Hanging them to fight? No wonder Fu Zakaria could die for them. It turns out that there are still such masters beside Levi Garrison. For a while, they regarded the Northern Heavenly King as Levi Garrison's bodyguard. After all, Levi Garrison had been sitting in a wheelchair and did not show any abnormality. Hall Master, I have sent someone to take them back. The Northern Heavenly King wiped his hands. Levi Garrison shook his head, no. Let them go. Okay. This time, all the members of the Bai Liang family were taken aback. Let them go? Is this brain flooded? Not afraid to let the tiger go back to the mountain? Once the Northern Liang clan knew about this matter, he would definitely investigate it to the end. How dare he let these people go back? Levi Garrison looked at them with a sneer and said, go back and tell the person in charge of the North Liang gate in Arudaya, you have to abide by Arudaya. If you break the rules, you have to bear the consequences. I said Levi Garrison. Okay, we'll pass on the words as they are. Levi Garrison, you just wait to die. Don't think that if you have such a master by your side, you can punish anyone. The background of the Northern Liang Gate clan is much stronger than you think, and there are countless such masters. Just wait for the disaster to come. The North Liang Gate valve will never let you go. A group of people yelled to leave. I really didn't think that Levi Garrison, the disabled, would have such masters around him to protect him. Yeah, this person can reach a very high position even at the gate of the North Liang. How could he be aggrieved by Levi Garrison as a guard? In the past, Levi Garrison had high prestige, and it is not surprising that there are masters to follow. In the eyes of everyone, Levi Garrison was still a useless person, and the reason why he was arrogant was because of the presence of the Northern Heavenly King. We will go back right away and tell Master and them everything. The Northern Liang clan is about to be born. At that time, we will bring Levi to the heavens. A group of people left violently. The Northern Heavenly King looked at Levi Garrison a little puzzled. Why let them go back? Levi Garrison smiled. Arudaya's hidden danger lies in the forces in the dark, so let them surface. Chapter 1330. The Northern Heavenly King immediately understood. Hall Master, you want the Northern Liangmen to be born first, so that with the reaction, other dark forces will surface one by one. It will be much easier to eradicate the hidden dangers of Arudaya. Levi Garrison nodded. It's wrong, it's the reason. Let them surface first, so we can investigate. Of course, Levi Garrison has another meaning. As a citizen of Arudaya, he must accept Arudaya's rules. He is now increasingly suspicious that the hidden dangers of Arudaya mentioned by Messiah are these hidden forces. They are powerful, secretive, and unfettered. They are the easiest to do a series of things that threaten Arudaya. So when the Bai Liang Gate valve appeared, Levi Garrison forced it out first. And it will definitely pull out the other hidden forces one by one. It will be easy to check at that time. After all, this is his task, to eliminate everyone and forces threatening Arudaya. Finally, Levi Garrison reached Northampton. M.BG. Zoe took Lavilia to pick him up at the door. Dad, I saw you on TV. Lavilia threw into Levi Garrison's arms. Zoe and Emma looked helpless. The child kept saying that he saw Levi Garrison. They are also helpless. Levi Garrison smiled and said, Daddy sees you too. Really? Lavilia looked very excited. Dad also brought you a gift, bring it here. Levi Garrison instructed. The Northern Heavenly King took 3 gift boxes from the car. This is a souvenir for the ceremony of the king, and it is available to all the guests who attended the ceremony. Levi Garrison took 3 copies and gave them as gifts to Lavilia and Zoe. Souvenirs include some commemorative medals and picture albums. The cost is very low, but priceless. The daughter can't buy it back. It is no exaggeration to say that a set of gift boxes for the ceremony of the king is priced at 100 million yuan, and there are definitely people lining up to buy them for collection. After all, this thing is too rare. You can't buy it at all. Only for those who go to the ceremony. Lavilia looked at the gift box very excited. Zoe and Emma were also very happy. This is their glory, something worth collecting for a lifetime. Zoe smiled. I also feel relieved a lot. It seems that Levi Garrison has no time to go to the capital. Also brought back souvenirs. Those people are still very human. I'm afraid it's not fake, right? There was a cold shout. I saw concubine Jenny came to the court. My husband brought me souvenirs, dare you say they are fake? Zoe scolded angrily. Zoe, did you also watch the live broadcast? There are not many guests watching the ceremony. Everyone has a camera, but have you seen Levi Garrison? Jenny asked. The plum dye is stuffy. She did not see it. Lavilia saw Dad. Lavilia saw it. Lavilia shouted. Concubine Jenny coldly snorted disdainfully, look at Zoe for yourself, the children are all educated. Like this, open your eyes and talk nonsense. It's all right. Zoe's complexion is also very ugly. Indeed, Lavilia said when he saw people now educating her by himself. Lavilia also refuted that children should not lie. Can only tell the truth. Concubine Jenny stared at Lavilia and continued, as we all know, souvenirs are only given to every guest who goes to the ceremony. So the souvenirs are fixed, but your family Levi Garrison did not appear at the viewing platform. Where did his souvenirs come from? It must be fake. Concubine Jenny sneered, Levi Garrison, you only have this little trick. The Return of the God of War, the Protector. Chapter 1331. This souvenir is absolutely fake. How is Levi Garrison? It feels uncomfortable to be dismantled by me, right? Concubine Jenny looked at Levi Garrison coldly. Very satisfied. Furthermore, how do you prove to me that this souvenir is real? Concubine Jenny changed her view. Levi Garrison smiled and said, it doesn't matter if you say it is fake, it doesn't matter. Zoe immediately echoed, yes, we can collect the fake ones by ourselves. And don't sell them. You guys. Concubine Jenny is going to be angry. After she left here, she told Meredith and Robert the matter. Me see. The two of them were originally soldiers, and when they heard of the souvenir of the ceremony, the eyes of both of them lit up fiercely. This kind of thing is a collection value to others. For them, in addition to value, there may be feelings in it. It is impossible to value in their hearts. As long as they are within the tolerance range, they will be willing to buy everything. So when the two heard it, their hearts began to agitate. Really? They really have it. Meredith's teeth were already trembling. Yes, Levi Garrison brought 3 souvenirs, but all of them are fake. Concubine Jenny insisted. Yes, only the guests at the ceremony. Where did Levi Garrison come from? Meredith subconsciously said. Robert said, no, it's really only for guests at the ceremony. But souvenirs are more than these. Usually there are more souvenirs, and they will be given to some people or staff. What Levi Garrison brought may be real. As soon as Robert reminded, Meredith's eyes lit up fiercely. If it's true, that's great. Even if you look at it, you are qualified to brag in the circle. Please go and confirm that the souvenirs are genuine. Franklin sent you the confirmation method. And you can just follow the instructions above. Meredith urged. Concubine Jenny returned to Levi Garrison's residence after getting the solution. At this moment, Lavilia is playing in the yard. There are souvenirs next to it. When Lavilia saw Concubine Jenny coming, he squeezed his face vigilantly. Let's play together. Concubine Jenny smiled. Aunt is a bad person, Lavilia doesn't play with Aunt. Lavilia immediately avoided. Hold the souvenirs in your arms. Concubine Jenny thought of something, her eyes rolled, and she smiled and said, Lavilia, do you want to prove that the souvenir your father brought is true? Hearing this, Lavilia nodded fiercely, yes. Concubine Jenny said that the souvenirs were fake, and Lavilia was very unhappy. Well, Auntie has a way to identify it. After I have done the identification, I can prove that the souvenirs your father brought are real. Jennifer, I said. Okay, then I'll give it to you. Lavilia gave up the souvenirs to Concubine Jenny. Concubine Jenny began to identify according to the method. Hey? This one is real. The texture is wrong. The sign is wrong. The security code is also wrong. After the identification, Jennifer discovered that the souvenir brought by Levi Garrison turned out to be real. She confirmed it again. The souvenir is real. Is Levi Garrison so capable? Jenny then left. All told Meredith and Robert. Really? It turned out to be true. Meredith and Robert were very excited. Ha ha ha, this Levi Garrison is a bit capable. However, we have to get this souvenir back. It is only valuable in our hands. Chapter 1332. I heard that the souvenir was real. Meredith and Robert immediately got their ideas. After all, this kind of thing can be met but not sought. Something you can't buy for $1 billion. If this kind of thing is not in their own hands, they can't sleep. Grandpa and Grandma, do you need me to bring you things directly? Jenny asked. No, you don't have that ability. How can it be taken back from them? Meredith said. Concubine Jenny also thinks about it. Although I bullied them every time, I never took advantage of it once. The souvenir, relying on her, will never get back. Let's do this by ourselves. Seeing this thing makes my heart itch. Meredith and Robert can't wait. The two hurried to Northampton from the provincial capital. They bought a lot of children's clothes, toys, and snacks. Although Lavilia likes these things very much, he will only look at them eagerly and will never take a step forward. This is the result of Zoe and Levi Garrison's education. Of course, Lavilia has a certain grudge against the Black family. They don't usually get what they give. Zoe and Lavilia are back. We bought something for Lavilia. Lavilia, come in my arms. Meredith also embraced Lavilia enthusiastically. Zoe and Levi Garrison were cold. These two obviously came with a purpose. Sure enough, Meredith asked, I heard that Levi brought back the souvenirs for the ceremony of the king. Where is it? Yes, is it true? Robert also echoed the tau. Levi Garrison and Zoe looked at each other. Zoe still brought the souvenir. Meredith hurriedly threw Lavilia aside, picked up the souvenir and turned it over. The same goes for Robert. The eyes are shining. It's the same as looking at beautiful women. It's true. It's true. Once the commemorative medal was started, the two of them couldn't calm down. Exclaimed again and again. While showing their enthusiasm, they also glanced at Zoe from time to time. The two are suggesting that she. Seeing the crazy appearance of the two, Zoe felt a little embarrassed. When he was about to give the two a set, Levi Garrison pulled it. Zoe could only hold back and let the two of them suggest. Finally, Meredith couldn't help it, and asked, Lavilia, how many sets of souvenirs did you bring with you this time? 3 sets, 1 set for my mother, wife, and daughter. Levi Garrison answered. Oh, Lavilia also has it. What does such a small child know? How about this? Give me Lavilia's set. How about me, I will customize some children's souvenirs for Lavilia. How about? Meredith asked expectantly. What? The 3 of Levi Garrison were stunned. Is there such a shameless one? Do you want to be straightforward? Robert even looked at Emma and smiled. My family, you as a woman don't have any collection value with this souvenir. What do you like? I will change it with you. We have many collections. Robert also expressed his thoughts. Yes, and Zoe too. A young girl, what's the use of collecting? The value of this souvenir should be reflected in our hands. Wrong. Only retired fighters like grandparents can know the value of this kind of souvenir. Put this thing in them to shine. You can only waste it in your hands, you are all used as toys by Lavilia. So you guys let the souvenirs out. Chapter 1333. Concubine Jenny tried their best to persuade. The purpose is simple. The lion opens his mouth and asks for 3 souvenirs. Meredith and Robert said, "Yes, nothing wrong. We are the one who can best reflect the value of souvenirs. Let us, we exchange it with money or other things." Meredith persecuted them. "You are also Levi Garrison, you know that grandparents will love this thing, can't you bring it back?" There is no sense of filial piety. Concubine Jenny stared at Levi Garrison coldly. "No way." Levi Garrison said straightforwardly. "This thing is a gift I gave them. You won't change anything with them, die this heart." Levi Garrison's attitude was something that everyone hadn't thought of. A disabled person in a wheelchair, dare to have such confidence? "Levi Garrison, what are you talking about? Still not sure about your situation? What qualifications do you have?" Everyone scolded. Levi Garrison smiled, "It doesn't matter, you don't want to take this thing anyway." Zoe also nodded, "Grandma, although I really want to give you souvenirs, but this is a gift from Lavilia, and it is not appropriate to send it out again." Then Levi Garrison, "Have you ever thought of us? Give your mother a gift instead of your father-in-law's mother-in-law? Do you still have us in your eyes?" Accompanied by the voice, Caitlin and Aaron came. The two were staring at Levi Garrison angrily. After Emma heard it, her face was a bit ugly. Levi Garrison didn't prepare gifts for Meredith, but he didn't prepare for his father-in-law. Caitlin directly said to Zoe, "Zoe sees it, right? Except for his mother, he doesn't have us in his eyes." Emma immediately said, "My family, I will give you my share. This thing is of no use to me. Who wants you?" As soon as Caitlin was about to refuse angrily, Meredith's voice sounded, "Okay. Just give up your share." "Yes, Zoe will give your share to your father. This is reasonable." Robert also echoed. "Okay, I'll let it out. Give you the Lavilia share." Zoe angrily threw all 3 souvenirs to Meredith and the others. She is really angry. Who can't see this trick? Obviously, I want to return the souvenirs. Alan, Aaron, why do you want this thing? Why don't you give it to us? Yes, let me arrange a real estate for you. What's the use for you to hold this thing? Meredith and Robert said so. The two said nothing, and gave up the 3 souvenirs. Meredith's goal was achieved, and they laughed from ear to ear. They stopped talking about things like buying things with money or exchanging things. Levi Garrison will remember from now on, the affairs of Lopez and Black's family can never be determined by your disability. Whenever there is the next time, the family law will take care of it. Everyone sneered. They used to bully like this when Levi was healthy. Not to mention that Levi Garrison's body is now like this. The unfamiliar white-eyed wolf. Aaron and Caitlin took a bite and left. Now, everyone thinks that Zoe is raising Levi Garrison's family. It's a pity that there are children, and there is no way to drive them out. Lavilia watched the people leave with eyesight, his small faces were aggrieved, and he almost cried. That's Lavilia's souvenir. Lavilia wants to come back. Lavilia shouted. Chapter 1334. Lavilia was already crying. Little baby is so wronged. My own things were taken away by 2 old guys. In fact, Levi Garrison could stop them on the spot. But according to the order, he cannot be exposed. It must not be exposed to ordinary people when it is less than a last resort. For example, forces or figures like the Garrison clan can be exposed because they have the ability to keep this secret. But ordinary people like Meredith may not. Once it is known that it is likely to leak out, and it is extremely easy to bring death to oneself. The less common people know, the better. The more you know, the closer you are to death. Besides, this is top secret. Others can't know. So just now Levi Garrison could only open one eye and close one eye, and let them go. Lavilia, don't cry. Dad will give it to you again, there are some of these things. Others may not be able to buy it for $1 billion, but doesn't Levi Garrison have everything he needs? Lavilia didn't cry now. He opened his eyes wide and looked at Levi Garrison. Dad, are you telling the truth? Of course, Dad won't lie to Lavilia. Levi approached. Zoe wanted to tell her not to lie to the child, but she resisted it. At night, when 3 souvenirs appeared in front of him, Zoe was even more speechless. He actually brought 3 more souvenirs. But thinking about his identity before, Zoe didn't think much about it. Next, everything went as usual, and Levi Garrison was waiting for messages from the hidden powers of the Northern Liangmen. However, Ray and Terry were the first to find him. Both of them obtained many ancient medicines and even ancient medical techniques through their own means. The two urgently needed Levi Garrison to recover. This made Levi Garrison flattered. But it also made him helpless. He had all asked as the king of one word side by side. If you leave things behind, you can leave. Levi approached. Unexpectedly, Terry shook his head. No. I have to look after you for a while. And the ancient medical skills must be performed by me. Even Ray exhorted, well, no mistake, let God of War Fan look at you, you have to recover as soon as possible. Levi Garrison couldn't refuse, and the two of them would doubt it anymore. Next, Ray left, and Terry took ancient medicine to Levi Garrison. This time, the ancient medicine they brought was even more domineering. At the entrance, surging medicinal power hits the limbs and hundreds of skeletons. The whole person is strong and full of energy. It's not an exaggeration to say that when used on the elderly, it will be much younger for the time being. Next, Terry used ancient medical techniques to explore Levi Garrison's body. At this time, it was necessary for Levi Garrison to act, to create the illusion of physical damage and deceive Terry. Your body is indeed seriously damaged. I must at least give you a course of treatment before I dare to leave, Terry said. Levi Garrison was startled. How long is a course of treatment? 1 month less, 3 months or 6 months more, Terry replied. Levi Garrison almost vomited blood. Fan War God, don't you care about the Great Wall Army? Levi Garrison asked the difference. Not for the time being, it's time for them to experience themselves. Terry also asked someone to bring in a few boxes of luggage. When Levi Garrison saw it, he was stunned. Are you going to live in? Yes, in order to look after you, I have to live in. Otherwise, where am I going? Terry asked back. At this moment, Zoe and Emma came back holding Lavilia to buy vegetables. Seeing a strange woman moving things, she asked, who is this? Chapter 1335. Even if Zoe is considerate, he can't calm down when he sees this scene. She stared at Terry with a cold face. He didn't ask her directly, but asked Levi Garrison, waiting for an explanation from him. She is. As soon as Levi Garrison was about to speak, Terry spoke. Hello, I am Terry, we are comrades in arms. At the same time, I am a military doctor. I am here to help him recover. I will need to live here for some time to come. Terry did not ask Zoe for advice at all, and directly caused people to continue carrying their luggage. Come and treat Levi Garrison, Zoe is of course welcome. But Terry's domineering manner made Zoe very upset. Even Emma felt that there was a problem. Terry was in the villa and chose a room by herself. This room was Zoe's study, but Terry occupied it, and many things were moved out. Emma saw Zoe's dissatisfaction and immediately said to Levi Garrison, can Lavilia let her leave? We can let her stay in a 5-star hotel. Levi Garrison was helpless, and he wanted Terry to leave too. However, he discovered from short-term contact that this feminine grey is resolute and the decision will never be changed. Well, I will take care of you next, and promise to restore you in the shortest time possible, my hero. Terry spoke to Levi Garrison regardless of others. What she said is actually wrong. Levi Garrison had high prestige in the hearts of Erudaya fighters. Is a hero in the minds of many people. But when Zoe heard these words, the taste changed. Zoe kept his face cold and did not speak. It was strange that a woman suddenly appeared at home. Now Terry is like this, making her feel there is no sense of existence. She is a woman and very sensitive. You can see different things in Terry's eyes. The look she looked at Levi Garrison was like a young girl in spring. This makes her have to doubt. Zoe was about to get angry, but when she saw Terry treating Levi Garrison, she abruptly held back. She is a person who understands the big picture, and can't lose big because of small. Come on, these medicine dregs are for you, it's good for your health. Terry couldn't help but put the medicine dregs directly into Zoe and Emma's mouth. The next two were shocked by the terrible effect of the medicine. Emma seems to be several years younger, and Zoe only feels energetic and full of blood. Isn't it amazing? What is Terry's identity? After a while, the big figures from Northampton gathered here. Meet Fan War God! Everyone shouted. When I heard that Terry was coming, everyone came to see him. Only then did Zoe understand the identity of Terry, the leader of the Great Wall Army, Fan Ares. Not to mention the influence, the level alone is the same as the original Levi Garrison. No wonder Terry has such terrifying medical skills. It turns out that she is the god of war. And so young and beautiful. A man would choose her, right? Especially Levi Garrison is like this now. Terry descended like an angel, healed him, protected him, restored him, and returned him to the past. On the other hand, he couldn't do anything except to cause trouble to Levi Garrison and upset him. It also caused him to be humiliated again and again. If it were for Terry, this situation would never happen. She is the goddess of war, she protects Levi Garrison, who dares to bully. For a time, Zoe felt more crisis. She can't compare this woman. Chapter 1336. Plus Terry is very strong. Let Zoe feel the pressure doubled. If she were a man, she would choose Terry. Mom, Lavilia doesn't like this aunt. Lavilia leaned into Zoe's arms and whispered. Nothing, Auntie will leave soon. Zoe touched Lavilia's little head. When Terry heard this, he smiled and said, I won't leave for the time being. I'm probably going to live for a few months. Zoe. She is so direct. Next, Terry moved in. As an Iron Lady on the battlefield, she has always been clean and tidy. So she strictly controlled Levi Garrison's daily life, and even reorganized the security of the entire villa area. All arranged as her own. To put it bluntly, everything must be subject to her arrangements. Not only that, Terry claimed that for the sake of Levi Garrison's recovery, he was restricting Lavilia's noisy and intimacy with Levi Garrison. Living in this environment, Zoe felt extremely uncomfortable. She almost didn't even have the skill to whisper to Levi Garrison. She even felt that Terry seemed to be repelling her intentionally or unintentionally. Zoe looked at the opportunity and took Levi Garrison to a remote place. I think we need to have a good talk. Now that she is like this, it has seriously affected our normal life, and even Lavilia is complaining to me. We are happy for her to treat you, but when is this the head? She now limits the number of times you can meet with Lavilia. Zoe was very depressed during this period. The main reason was that Levi Garrison's painless attitude made her very angry. But if Levi Garrison was tougher, she wouldn't be like that. Levi Garrison naturally had his considerations. At this point, he must not be exposed. Because Terry came here with such a high profile, I don't know how many people are staring at it. If there are clues, the plan may fall short. Another one, in case Terry has a problem. This is the severity of the top secret order. This is all within Levi Garrison's consideration. Therefore, he pretended not to see Terry's recent domineering behavior. I can't do anything with her, so please bear with me, Levi Garrison said. Currently Levi Garrison really let Terry toss. Levi Garrison had his own considerations, but this attitude changed in Zoe's eyes. Perfunctory. Is this the Levi Garrison she is familiar with? If it is based on his past character, he will definitely find a way to deal with it. But now facing Terry, Levi Garrison actually closed one eye. She cared about Levi Garrison's attitude, but Levi Garrison disappointed her. Emma saw everything from the side and also persuaded Levi Garrison. But Levi Garrison gave the same answer. He has no idea. Let Terry come. Mom, Zoe, I am also forced to be helpless. Mainly I am not sure what Terry means. In fact, Levi Garrison had a way to transfer her away directly as the king of the word side by side. But what if Terry has a problem? In that case, isn't it all exposed? So during this period of time, he had to determine Terry's problem first. The Western Heavenly King is already investigating Terry. I believe there will be a message soon. Gradually, the feeling of the family is getting weaker and weaker. Even Lavilia didn't go to Levi Garrison very much. Not to mention Zoe, she lives a 3.1 life. He hurriedly said hello to Levi Garrison every day, and even left after a glance. Finally one day, Zoe broke out. Chapter 1337. I have been treated for a month, and I haven't seen any improvement. Okay, you don't let her go, I will go by myself. Zoe packed his luggage and left with Lavilia. Levi Garrison expected the outbreak of Zoe. After all, no one can bear such a month. Terry ignored Zoe's departure indifferently. She wondered, why? I used the ancient medicines of the Gate clan of Bai Liang and the Gate clan of Nanjiang, and I also used ancient medical techniques. It is reasonable to say that recovery in 1 month is possible. Why doesn't it get better in 1 month? This was naturally controlled by Levi Garrison himself. Let her heal for a month, but nothing works. For Terry to leave. With her by her side, Levi Garrison couldn't start many things. It will also affect his relationship with Zoe. M.BG. Now things have happened. Fan War God, don't spend any time on me, as you can see, my body is like this. Levi. Terry looked puzzled, it's impossible. It stands to reason that you should all stand up. Maybe I was injured too badly. Levi Garrison now only wants Terry to leave. Terry shook his head, no, I have to study and understand what's going on. It really doesn't work, I ask an expert to come and see what's going on. Terry is a stubborn person. Levi Garrison almost vomited blood. She's not leaving yet? He understands Terry's character, and he will not die until Huang He. In addition, Ray still pays attention to Levi Garrison's situation from time to time. She can't go anymore. Just when Levi Garrison was trying to get Terry away, Aaron and Caitlin came. Well, you Levi Garrison. The guy who eats inside and outside. How much does my family pay for you? Give you children and take care of them, you are like this, don't dislike you for taking care of you. And raising you. What about you? Just treat Zoe like that? Let a woman live at home? Did you drive Zoe away? Aaron also said angrily, I didn't believe it at first, your personality doesn't seem to let other women live in the house directly. Now I saw it with my own eyes. You are really shameless. Are you going to abandon your wife and daughter? Even your mother can't bear to run away. Levi is in 100 mouths and cannot argue. It did happen. Parents, I will give you an explanation for this matter. Levi approached. Terry was angry, what's the explanation? It's Zoe who is unreasonable to cheat. What? Obviously you are an outsider who lives in our house, and you said that Zoe was unreasonably coaxing. Terry's words completely angered Aaron and his wife. Isn't it? And I always feel that Zoe is not worthy of him at all. Just an ordinary girl, why should he treat him like this? On the other hand, you don't know how to cherish and embarrass him in all kinds of ways. Are you worthy? Terry is talking about his truest feelings. She always felt that ordinary women were not worthy of Levi Garrison at all. Especially during this period of contact, she feels that Zoe is unworthy. If Zoe had not given birth to a child, I would suggest that they divorce. Terry is an outspoken person. What to say? But when these few words came out, Aaron and Caitlin completely exploded. Okay, you Levi Garrison, you already have an idea, right? Then leave, you and her go over. Besides, don't think about seeing Zoe and your child. It turns out that you don't even want your wife and daughter in front of the god of war. Shameful. Chapter 1338. Aaron and Caitlin left angrily. Also smashed things on the ground. Levi Garrison also didn't expect things to develop to this point. Today, I am afraid that in everyone's eyes, he is a person who admires vanity and abandons his wife and daughter for the sake of power and money, right? The things that disappeared can still be explained. But now, the facts are in sight. Terry hasn't left for a month, and other people think this is a problem. The key is that Levi Garrison can't do anything. In this way, his perfunctory attitude makes others think that something is going on. This is also the main reason Zoe is angry with them. You don't need Levi Garrison, just stand on their side. But Levi Garrison was almost neutral. This makes them unhappy. I really don't think this woman is worthy of you, Terry said straightforwardly. Although she hates the patriarchy. But she came from a clan in southern Xinjiang, and she had a sense of clan superiority in her bones. In her opinion, it must be right. Zoe and Levi Garrison are still far away. Levi Garrison sneered, you don't understand. In love, there is no one who is not worthy of anyone. I will not dislike the identity of Zoe, and she will not dislike me in a wheelchair. Terry shook his head stubbornly, no, you are not in the same world. Let's just say that. She can only take care of you, but can she recover you? Okay, I won't quarrel with you. Terry, you should leave. My body is just like this, I will trouble you. During this time, Levi Garrison said directly. But Terry refused, no, I have to let you recover. I have ordered some experts to come. Your body must recover. You must defeat Ray. Levi Garrison looked helpless. Defeating Ray? Isn't it enough if you have a hand? At this moment, Aaron, who had gathered with Zoe, became more and more angry. That woman continues to live in my house. Zoe asked. Hey, yes, they are goddess of war. What can we do? Aaron sighed. What's Levi Garrison's attitude? Zoe asked hurriedly. The one that irritates the most is Levi Garrison. He said that he would explain to us later. Nothing else. Aaron stomped his feet with anger. Caitlin even cried and cried, I think this bastard is just determined to have a life with others. Compared with the other goddess of war, my girl is really unworthy. Zoe, forget it. Don't live with him. From now on, you and your children will live with us. Yes, Levi wants to see him. For a moment, Zoe's face turned pale. His body was trembling with anger. Anyway, Levi Garrison wanted to have an attitude and explanation about this matter, and she would never go back. Terry doesn't care about her. With her, Terry. Forget it, your grandpa called to tell us to go to Lee's ancestral house tomorrow, saying it was an important matter to announce. Aaron changed the subject. He received a call from Harry earlier. Okay. In the month when Levi Garrison had family disputes, Arudaya and even overseas were not at peace. Especially Arudaya, I don't know why, all the hidden powers have appeared one by one. The first thing that appeared was the gate valve of Bai Liang. They had already arrived in Northampton, ready to do something against Levi Garrison. It's just that I heard that Levi Garrison has Terry by his side, so I didn't have any hands on it. The other interesting thing is that there are hidden forces that have come to Northampton. I don't know what the intention is. Chapter 1339. The next day, Zoe hugged Lavilia and followed his parents to the house of Lopez's ancestors. Several people feel that today's atmosphere is a bit wrong. But it can't be said specifically. Aaron, Zoe, today, you will see a person who is thinking about it all day and night. Surprise, it's so amazing! Harry said excitedly when he saw the two of them. What? This made Aaron and Zoe stunned. Who makes them think about it? As far as the Banks family is concerned, there is only one person, Zoe's grandma. Is it a mother, me? See? Aaron asked excitedly. Unlike Harry, Grandma loves Zoe very much. Among these children and grandchildren, the one she loves most is Zoe. Of her sons, Aaron is the one she loves most. Because Aaron is honest, not as clever as the others. But when Zoe was 10 years old, the old lady disappeared. The Blacks family searched for a long time, but couldn't find it. It was agreed that she was missing. Until more than 10 years passed, no one appeared again. Even Levi Garrison didn't even know that such a person existed. He still wondered why Harry had a wife. Grandma is back. Zoe's deepest memory of Lopez's childhood is his grandmother. Because it's so good to her. If Grandma were there, the Lopez family's oppression of their room would never happen. Father, where are you? Take us quickly. Aaron was already impatient. Harry hurriedly brought a few people into the hall. There are many people in the hall. There was an old lady in the upper seat, dressed in jewels and silk. There is a strong momentum on his body. Although his face was not old, Zoe recognized at a glance that it was his grandmother. Grandma, Mother. Aaron and Zoe immediately pounced on them. My Zoe, and my daughter-in-law. The old lady embraced several people in her arms. Several people hugged and wept. After crying, the old lady hugged Lavilia in her arms and looked up and down. Is this your child? He looks really like you, a beauty. Grandma, where have you been during this time? It has been nearly 20 years since you disappeared. I thought you... Zoe choked. Yes, Mom, I miss you so much. Aaron is just like a kid. The old lady smiled and said, let your grandfather talk about it. Harry looked excited. Zoe, your grandma really scared me, her background is too big. What? Zoe were all taken aback. Some time ago, after I got to know the Garrison family of the first family, Oakland City, I thought it was the strongest family I could know in my life. I don't know that there are hidden influences such as clansmen on it. Your grandmother is from the 4 gates of the West Shoe Gate. She has not disappeared in these years, but returned to the West Shoe Gate. The most important thing is that your grandma has the highest status in the Gate of Zishu. Harry smiled. It turns out that Zoe's grandmother is the clique of power that has been active in Northampton recently. After listening to Harry's detailed introduction, Zoe and the others were shocked. It turns out that Grandma's background is all over the sky. Even the first family in the capital is nothing. The old lady touched Zoe's head and smiled. Zoe, don't worry, no one can bully you with Grandma. In the future, you are the princess of the clan of Zishu, especially Lavilia. Aaron and Caitlin cried with joy. With the appearance of the old ladies, their identities have risen. Chapter 1340. The Lopez family was full of joy. Because of the existence of the old lady, Lopez family became a phoenix from a second and third-rate family in the north of the Yangtze River. The status is even higher than that of the Garrison clan in Oakland City. This is a grand event in the Lopez family. Zoe looked at the old lady and asked, "Grandma, I have doubts." The old lady glanced at her and said, "You're afraid you want to ask why I haven't appeared in the past 10 years. Correct?" Zoe nodded. The 4 main gates signed a secret agreement, and those inside the door are not allowed to enter the world. I ran out privately that year and disappeared that year. In fact, I was arrested and returned. Because the Zisha clan was afraid that I would destroy the agreement and took me back after I was found. However, my status is high, so I can't do anything to me. The old lady explained. What did Zoe think of, and said in surprise, "Now that Grandma can come back like this, does that mean the agreement is ruined?" Wrong. The agreement of the 4 gate valves is torn up. It means that the 4 gate valves are now free. So there is nothing wrong with our appearance, the old lady said. Although Zoe didn't know why the agreement was torn, she vaguely felt that something big was going to happen. Where did she want to get it? The tearing up of this secret agreement was all because of one person, Levi Garrison. The 4 gate valves have thousands of years of heritage and inherit the ancient things of Erudaya. For ordinary people, their martial arts, medical skills, and other aspects have an amazing effect. If these people live with ordinary people, most of them will be messy. Under the influence of power and money, it is inevitable that some people will do some dangerous things. In addition, they are too strong to be controlled by the time. It is likely to make Erudaya mess up. After all, once these people become presumptuous, the consequences will be disastrous. For stability. So long ago, Messiah signed a secret agreement with the 4 gate valves. Levi Garrison couldn't find the secrets. The content of the agreement is very simple: the 4 gate valves must not interfere with the lives of ordinary people, that is, they cannot join the WDO, let alone do threatening things to Erudaya. Similarly, Messiah would not restrain the 4 gate valves. This agreement has been complied with for hundreds of years. In fact, it is not that the 4 gate valves did not enter the WDO, it was just because there was an agreement to hold it down. Otherwise they would have run out long ago. Of course, there are still quite a few people from the 4 main gates sneaking out. It's like Fu Zakaria, who ran out in violation of the agreement. But the overall situation will not affect anything. But this time, to tear up the agreement, it was all because of Levi Garrison. After learning that Levi Garrison had eliminated several people from Fu Zakaria, the Bai Liang Gate clan attributed all the sins to Levi Garrison. It was he who didn't abide by the agreement and killed people wantonly. This incident was added fuel and vinegar by the North Liang Gate valve and spread to the other 3 gate valves. The 4 gate valves collectively agreed to tear up the agreement. Of course, the unanimous charges point to Levi Garrison. He broke the rules first. So now the 4 gate valves are free. The old ladies are all swaggering to find relatives. In fact, this problem is very big. Levi Garrison broke the rules that both sides had kept for hundreds of years. This is to be blamed, this guilt cannot be taken. Obviously Fu Zakaria had the fault first, colluding with Homo to harm his compatriots. As a result, he fought back and became Levi Garrison's first choice, breaking the rules. But the result has appeared. When Levi Garrison got the message, he was also very surprised. There is such an agreement. I have never heard of it before. Chapter 1341. Mainly this agreement is too confidential. With the authority of the Lord, you also have no right to Inspect it. Only now that you have the authority to check the word side by side. The Western Heavenly King is by the side. I wanted to uncover these hidden forces one by one and find out the hidden dangers to Arudaya, but I didn't expect to tear up such an important agreement. Levi Garrison shook his head. This is something he didn't even think of. Now he is in trouble. It may lead to unpredictable consequences. The Western Heavenly King shook his head. Hall Master, it has nothing to do with you. I am afraid that the four gate valves have long wanted to tear up this agreement. You just let you be a gunman. Yes, they must have torn up this agreement in my name. Everything is on my head. But because of the consequences of this incident, I will bear it. At this time, Levi Garrison gave a wink, and the Western Heavenly King quickly disappeared. Because Terry is here. With Terry present, Levi Garrison's communication with Levi's squad was greatly reduced. After all, Terry is not an ordinary person, it is easy to find clues. Zoe and they have been here again? Terry asked. She has noticed that someone has come. Who are behind you? Levi Garrison couldn't help asking when seeing a few people standing behind her. Only then did Terry explain, has heard of the four main gates, right? These are the genius doctors of the southern Xinjiang gates. I will show them your physical condition. Yes, yes. Levi Garrison didn't say anything. Now the four main gates really tore up the agreement and let the four main gates enter the world it will. Asking a few genius doctors to examine the physical condition, Levi Garrison naturally tried his best to cover it up. However, he handed over the poison that had been hit by the Blood King Palace to several people for study. No, this kind of poison should come from Arudaya. The several gods and medical experts in southern Xinjiang were so knowledgeable that they even recognized this poison. Boom! Levi Garrison's body was shocked. It turns out that the poison in the palace of the Blood King comes from Arudaya. Didn't it mean that this poison was studied by the Blood King Palace itself for decades? Are you sure? Determine. Although this poison was later processed and mixed, the most basic kind of poison came from Arudaya. I have seen it in an ancient book. Several people are very sure. Levi Garrison was shocked. This kind of poison came from Arudaya, which he hadn't thought of. It turns out that some compatriots are dissatisfied with Arudaya. Collaborate with outsiders, deliberately, and do a series of things. I'm afraid it's because I have been a god of war for many years, blocking the way of many people. And Levi Garrison was sure that this person was powerful. It should come from a hidden world force, perhaps within the four main gates. At first, Homo didn't want to say it when he was about to die, that means there is something to be done. But whoever it is, how powerful is it? Levi Garrison will definitely take care of anything that threatens Arudaya. He must get these people out. However, according to the current situation, it is right for the four gate valves to enter the WDO. In this way, Levi Garrison had a much higher chance of catching that person. It's really getting hot now. In the ancestral home of the Lopez family, the atmosphere is warm, and it is happier than the new year. But in the next second, the old lady's face became gloomy. What? Your husband abandoned his wife and daughter and let other women live together. The old lady was angry. What about the god of war? I am not afraid of the god of war. I want to see what kind of people dare to abandon my granddaughter. Unreasonable. Chapter 1342. The old lady has this capital. After all, look at Terry and Ray who came out of the four main gates to become gods of war. But the status in the doorstep is average. They are not afraid at all. Especially the old lady is almost at the top level in the gate of Zishu. Terry, she would not take it seriously. Yes, really bullying. The woman said that Zoe's status is humble and she is not worthy of Levi. Garrison et al. I think Levi Garrison is nothing more than a trash sitting in a wheelchair. Is Zoe not good enough? It's all right now, Mom, you are back. Zoe has a backer, let me see who is not worthy of whom. Zoe was afraid that things might mess up, and said quickly, Grandma, we just coaxed a little. Conflict, it's nothing. The old lady looked majestic. M.Bg. If this kid is still the god of war of Arudaya, I will give him 3 points of face because of the clan in Zishu. But now that he is like this, why should I give him face? At this time, Lavilia made a milky voice, Dad is the king of the word, even more powerful than the Arudaya god of war. Look, what is Lavilia being taught by Levi Garrison? Full of lies. Aaron scolded. What do you want to do in the spring and autumn dreams? It is like this, and you are the king of the word? You are not even a god of war. Lopez sneered. The old lady looked solemnly, we know about Arudaya's canonization of the king, and the four-gate lords have also speculated and investigated the identity of the king. The results of it. Everyone looked at the old lady suspiciously. The whole world wants to know the identity of Arudaya, the king of the word side by side. The clues are very vague. But one thing is certain, one word side by side king was born in a famous family, his background is heavenly, and it is likely to have a stronger background than the four gates. Only a family power of thousands of years can cultivate such a rare genius for thousands of years. The old lady was very sure. Hiss. Everyone sucked in cold air. As a result, the king of words side by side became more and more irrelevant to Levi Garrison. Levi Garrison is just an orphan who was abandoned on the street, how could he have anything to do with the who had been cultivated by the thousands of year end? There are clearly two extremes. From now on, I will stay here. There is no need to go back to Zisha's clan. The old lady was very sure. Although she didn't know why she tore up the agreement. After all, this belongs to the highest level of the four gate valves to know. Involving the ultimate interests of the family. That's really great. I think who would dare to say that my Lopez family is not a word in the future? People like Aaron jumped up in excitement. The arrival of the old lady is destined to take off in the Lopez family. Zoe asked with his eyes red, Grandma, is there a genius doctor by your side? The old lady was taken aback, and replied, although Zisha clan is good at using poison, there are many genius doctors. If we talk about ancient medical skills, we have to win the other three big clan. That means someone stronger than Terry? More chances for Levi Garrison to recover? Zoe asked. Of course. She's just a clan in southern Xinjiang. In this respect, she is definitely better than her. Zoe smiled with joy, that's good. It turned out that there was a comparison in her mind. She can do what Terry can do. She also has the identity of Terry. Levi Garrison, right? I want to see him. See what qualifications he has to abandon my granddaughter. The old lady said coldly. Okay, let's find him now. Chapter 1343. The Lopez family is in power, and there is no place to show its power. Just about to take Levi Garrison's operation. I won't go. Zoe held Lavilia at Lee's house. She is very angry now and doesn't want to see Levi Garrison. In the villa, the genius doctors of the Nanjiang clan had just left. The Lopez family came in mighty. Who? Stop. This is a private realm, you can't enter. The guards arranged by Terry here stopped everyone in the Lopez family. Presumptuous. Several strong men around the old lady directly shot the guards flying and forcibly broke into the villa. What's the matter? Terry and Levi Garrison heard the news. Hey? Is it you? Levi Garrison saw people familiar with Zoe grandma. Of course he didn't know the old lady surrounded by everyone. You belong to the clan of Western Shu. Terry was very familiar with the four gate lords, and recognized the identity of the other party at a glance. The little girl has a bit of eyesight. The old lady sneered. Levi Garrison was taken aback. Why did the Lopez family get involved with the Zisha clan? Why are you here? Terry stared at everyone with a cold face. Little girl, go aside, we are here to find Levi Garrison. The majestic and powerful old lady actually suppressed Terry. Levi Garrison will introduce to you, this is Grandma, she is actually a big figure in the clan of Zishu. She loves her son the most. You, a conscientious dog, abandoned his wife and daughter. You also said that Zoe is not worthy of you. Now let's see who is not worthy of whom. Okay. This result stunned Levi Garrison and Terry. No one would have thought that Zoe's grandma was actually a great figure in the clan of Zishu. Terry's face changed. She did say before that Zoe was not good enough for Levi Garrison. But now with this status, she is absolutely fine. Now Grandma Kinza is died as the princess of the clan of Zishu. Her status is noble. How can you match her, a former god of war, but now a cripple? Yet, Levi Garrison, we always thought that you were in Zoe at Japan. You are a waste. Zoe doesn't despise you, but takes care of you and gives birth to you. What about you? How do you treat Zoe? Let strange women live in the house and drive them away? What the hell do you have? The Lopez family scolded Levi Garrison up and down. The old lady said, if you are still the god of war, that's okay. I want to make you a guest of honor. The best son-in-law. But you are like this. What do you take into my eyes? What qualifications do you have to abandon my granddaughter? Levi Garrison shook his head helplessly. I did not abandon Zoe and Lavilia, there is a misunderstanding. I can give them an explanation in the future. What's the explanation? Don't you just look at the female god of war? Do you think she can bring you everything in the past, restore your body, and restore your previous identity? Yes, on the other hand, Zoe was a little girl before, and he can't give you any help, and it will drag you down. So it's normal for you to choose a goddess of war. Aaron pointed to Levi Garrison's nose and shouted, but I'm telling you, Zoe will not be able to climb high. You are not qualified. Mother, shall we go? Aaron asked for instructions. The old lady was angry. How can I leave my granddaughter like this? If she doesn't teach her a lesson, what is the face of the Zisha clan? Chapter 1344. The old lady is majestic. Levi Garrison was taken aback. This is Zoe's grandma? How does Harry deserve it? Back then, the old lady didn't like the rules of the Zisha clan and came out privately. Love and agree with Harry. Yes, it's wrong. You must teach this kid a lesson. Otherwise he thought we were so bullied. The villains of the Lopez family are determined, and they all show off their strengths. At least I don't want to see him sitting. This kind of person can only lie on his stomach or kneel. The old lady snorted coldly. M.BG. The big powers around her are about to do it. Who dare I see? There was a cold drink. Terry and her men stopped in front. Little girl, are you sure you want to stop me? You are also from the four main gates. According to the rules, you have to kowtow to me. The old lady snorted coldly. Even if you are a member of the Western Shu family? I'm not afraid. Whoever wants to move him, pass me first. Terry looked firm. The Great Wall Army is here, who dares to be presumptuous? The guards shouted together. The masters of the Zisha clan stared at Terry. Just wait for an order from the old lady. The old lady narrowed her eyes, weighing the pros and cons. She is not afraid of a Terry. But Terry's identity is the leader of the Great Wall Army. That is Arudaya. Even if the four gate valves tore up the agreement and entered the WDO for legitimate reasons. But who dares to face Arudaya head-on? Are you looking for death? Withdraw. Levi Garrison, next time you won't have such good luck. Also, don't even think about seeing Zoe and Lavilia. When you are qualified to talk to me and match Zoe's identity, you come again. This is what I mean, and it is even the meaning of the clan of Zishu. I am waiting for you in the clan of Zishu to take your wife and daughter back home. Although the old lady has withdrawn. But make such a decision. Don't let Levi Garrison see his wife and daughter goodbye. Unless you have the strength to talk to her. In the eyes of people like Lokita, Levi Garrison has no chance in this life. Want to be on an equal footing with the clan of Zishu? At least it has to be at the level of Arudaya, god of war. But is it possible? Levi Garrison is sitting in a wheelchair by himself. Even action is a problem, and I still want to be at the level of Arudaya, god of war. It's idiotic to say dreams. Levi Garrison was thinking about eating soft rice now, hiding behind Terry all his life. Just this, what chance? Haha, old lady wise. In this way, Levi Garrison will never see his wife and daughter in this life. Everyone in the Lopez family laughed presumptuously. Aaron and Caitlin also clapped their hands and said, "We agree." Aaron even stared at Levi Garrison with a sneer, "You only deserve to hide behind a woman in this life. If your wife and daughter are gone, you don't even dare to hum. You are not worthy of being a man. Aaron, I despise you in my heart. Yes, this kid is not a man. Go with your goddess of war. Let someone protect you forever." Caitlin snorted coldly, "Levi Garrison, can I still see you come to meet Zoe and Lavilia one day?" Subsequently, the old lady took the Lopez family and left. This is really a magical day. Levi Garrison was still wondering why Zoe's grandma never showed up. So she still has such an identity? Turns out to come from the four gate valves. This identity is really amazing. Levi Garrison smiled helplessly. She wants to cut herself off to see his wife and daughter? How can it be? Do you need qualifications? I don't know if Yanlong Ring is qualified. Does Yanlong Noodles have? Where is the Yanlong sword? Levi Garrison jokingly smiled. Chapter 1345. I really didn't expect Zoe to have such an identity. This old lady is the sister of the current helm of the Zishu clan. She can completely represent the Zishu clan. Terry was shocked. Levi Garrison was also shocked. The old lady turned out to be such an identity. Fan War God, you see, there is no need for you to be by my side now. Several genius doctors from Nanjiang's clan have nothing to do for the time being. Levi Garrison took the opportunity to say to Terry. Terry looked hesitant, but your body obviously improved before. Yes, that's wrong. The body has been improving, but the speed is relatively slow. In the final analysis, the poison of the Blood King Palace still remains in my body. If this poison is not removed, my body cannot recover. Levi Garrison said. Me see. In fact, the poison of the Palace of the Blood King had long been relieved. The reason why he said this is to let Terry investigate this kind of poison. So go back to the source and see who is from Arudaya. Sure enough, Terry said, okay, I will personally check the poison in the Blood King Palace, and try to let you recover as soon as possible. But I will still be responsible for your safety, and I will send guards to protect you. Okay. Levi Garrison touched his nose. It's better than Terry staying here. The remaining guards are much easier to deal with. In the ancestral home of the Lopez family. Seeing the mighty people coming back, Zoe immediately asked, is there something wrong? Grandma, what do you think of Levi Garrison, right? Levi Garrison is really mad at me. A big man hides behind a woman. Before Zoe, now relying on that female god of war is to eat soft food for a lifetime. Aaron was very angry. The old lady shook her head, nothing to do with him, the goddess of war protects him. I would rather do it for him, but also fight against our Zisha clan. What did Levi Garrison say? Zoe asked anxiously. There is nothing to say except hiding behind that woman. Besides, what can he say? Everyone. Zoe's pretty face got a little bit cold again. What she cares most about is attitude. The key is that Levi Garrison has no attitude. The old lady exhorted, Zoe, I have set a rule for him. What? For the time being, Levi Garrison don't want to meet you and Lavilia. When will he be qualified to talk to me? His identity matches your Zisha clan princess, and then come pick you and your child. Hey? What level? Zoe was taken aback. Before the identity of the Erudaya war god. I won't say anything, let him pick you up. The old lady was extremely majestic. Ah? How is this possible? It would be nice if he can recover from his current situation. It is impossible to get back the position of Erudaya war god. Zoe was a little anxious. I feel that the conditions for Levi Garrison are a bit harsh. This rule was made by me in the name of the West Shoe Gate clan. It must not be abolished. Furthermore, he was standing behind the woman. When you were wronged, did he say a word for you? The old lady asked rhetorically. Thinking of what Terry did and Levi Garrison's silent attitude during this period of time. Zoe gritted his teeth and said, Okay, Grandma, if I listen to you, I will treat him as punishment. But after agreeing, Zoe regretted it again. In this way, would you never see Levi Garrison for the rest of your life? After all, the old lady's current ability can completely isolate them for a lifetime. Lavilia leaned in front of Zoe and smiled, Mom, don't worry, Dad will see us soon. Chapter 1346. Lavilia actually understands everything. Although I don't know exactly what happened to the Western Shoe Gate clan. But she believes that her father's identity as the king of the word is absolutely qualified. Zoe smiled helplessly. I thought Lavilia would cry because he couldn't see his father. I didn't think that Lavilia would console himself in turn. Everyone looked at Lavilia. No one debunks Lavilia. From everyone's point of view, Levi Garrison would never hope to see them in this life. The strong entry into the WDO of the Western Shoemen clique represented the official rise of the Lopez family. In Northampton, this 1/3 of acre of land to be respected. Even the entire South. The Lopez family has the final say. The identity of the old lady is terrible. The sister of the helm of the Zisha Gate clan. Who dares to mess with? Zoe and Lavilia have also become the jewels of the clan of Zishu. The status is prominent and daunting. Overnight, the third and fourth-rate Lopez family turned out to be comparable to the family. This is the influence brought about by the entry into the WDO. They can turn ordinary people into nobles. Can make a crow turn into a phoenix. The Western Shoemen clan even issued that rule specifically for Levi Garrison. Not only the Western Shoe Gate clan, but the other 3 Gate clan groups have established their own power and territory after entering the WDO, and they have also supported many family powers. The once glorious families of the Garrison clan in Oakland City are no longer there. After the 4 Gate lords entered the WDO, Levi Garrison let people check their every move. Not only the 4 main gates, but also many hidden forces have joined the world together. It seems that this agreement also restricts others. Now they are all free again. Now this environment should be conducive to the actions of that group. The previous 4 Gate valves and the hidden powers were all limited by the agreement, and it is absolutely difficult for them to act. Now that the agreement is torn up and the restrictions are lifted, it is much easier for them to act. Levi Garrison analyzed. The Western Heavenly King sneered and said, "They think that they are free to enter the world, but they can hide to a great extent, but they don't know that they are giving us a chance. I have a hunch that they will be exposed soon." Levi Garrison wanted to get these people out the most, he still wanted to see La Villa. Now, in a villa on the outskirts of Oakland City, a group of people gathered. Everyone has a common feature, wearing masks of various shapes. It seems that like the members of the Levi's squad, they can't show their true colors. They are the people Levi Garrison and Arudaya Messiah want to pick out the most. The culprit is them. The leader wears a black dragon-shaped mask. He said coldly, 3 messages. First, it is still unclear who is the king of the word side by side. Second, it is difficult for Levi Garrison to recover, and the genius doctors in Nanjiang's clan have no idea. Third, we must rob the things that Prince William of the Warhawk Nation needs. Others nodded one after another. Well, we are finally free to join the WDO, and we can breathe the freshest air. Yes, it is a good thing for us to tear up the agreement by the 4 gate valves this time. Let us sinners in Arudaya no longer have to hide. We can act with integrity. Everyone looked very excited. Don't be happy too early. The Yanlong Guard personally escorted what Prince William of the Warhawk Nation asked for. To rob them from their hands, we also need to pay the price. The man in the black dragon mask said coldly. Ho ho, what are you afraid of? We only need to send those few people to robbery. Several people disdain. That's true. Get the things, and Prince William promised us that it will come true too. Chapter 1347. The black dragon mask smiled satisfied when he heard those few. However, he also exhorted, everyone must be careful. Don't show any clues. Over the years, we have colluded with foreign countries. If Arudaya knows, we die 100 times is not enough. Humph, that's natural. I hate Arudaya for a long time. I won't expose it so early. I want to see them destroy with my own eyes. I still have no revenge. How could it be exposed? Ho ho, I am Arudaya sinner. I want those people to know what revenge is. At the mention of this, everyone showed extreme anger. Terrible anger. Don't share it. It seems that Arudaya has done terrible things to them. Okay, go down and get ready, M.BG. The black dragon mask asked. The corners of his mouth rose, and he was very happy to see this scene. Here Levi Garrison received an order from Messiah. Let him escort a batch of things back to the capital from the east. This order is urgent and requires him to set off directly. Without tarry, Levi Garrison easily threw off her guards and left. On the way, Messiah told Levi Garrison the details. It turned out that a biological base on an island somewhere in the east was exposed and needed to be moved immediately. This has been targeted by overseas countries and major forces. They will act immediately. The most important thing is that in this biological base, there is a genetic medicine that is priceless. It's about Arudaya's future. It needs to be transported to the capital by all means. However, the transport operations have long been exposed. Someone must be robbed on the way. After all, this thing has too high value. Everyone wants this kind of scientific research results. It was the action that was exposed long ago, so it is very likely that the identity of the strong escort was also exposed. Therefore, a surprise escort is needed to ensure success. Messiah thought about it and asked Levi Garrison to escort him. No one is suspicious of him at the moment. But it is precisely that he is the most terrifying killer. I also thought about using heavy troops to escort the genetic medicine liquid, but I was afraid that some bad news would be arbitrarily promoted by overseas media. I can only give up. The team should escort. One word side by side king. This escort is escorted by the Dragon Group, Wind Group, Wolf Group, and Tiger Group under Messiah. For the time being, your identity cannot be revealed, we are afraid of spies. Please understand. Levi Garrison nodded, okay, I understand. I must escort things. Soon Levi Garrison arrived in the east. This is a base. The 4 teams under Messiah's command had already been prepared. All of them stood in front of a password box. Presumably there is genetic medicine in the password box. Okay. Seeing Levi approaching, everyone was taken aback. Let him be the escort? Just kidding. Isn't this holding us back? Our attention is all on the genetic medicine. Should we have to separate our strength to protect him? Everyone knew Levi Garrison. Although he respects him very much. Someone once regarded him as an idol. But this kind of naughty eyes sent him to escort unexpectedly. Is this a joke? You don't have to worry about me, if there is any danger, you can go first. Levi Garrison, who was sitting in a wheelchair, smiled. But there is nothing. No matter what Shen said, the command is superb, and you can arrange your position reasonably. Present your combat effectiveness to the maximum. Under the coercion of Messiah, everyone said nothing. Chapter 1348. Although everyone agreed. But everyone is not convinced. The command of Arudaya god of war is indeed superb and has always won the battle. But can the situation be the same today? This is not war. The escort team totaled 16 people. 17 people in G. Levi. And whether it is oneself or the other party, they are all first-class masters. The battle ended in an instant. How do I order? Isn't it an army? M.BG. This is a real burden to throw in. Still in a wheelchair. After Messiah left. Tyrannosaurus, the person in charge of the dragon group, is the general person in charge of this escort operation. Tyrannosaurus said coldly, Levi, I admit that you were my idol before. I also respect you very much. But nowadays you are sitting in a wheelchair and have no fighting power. This is something everyone knows. Are you here to escort? What escort do you take? Huo Feng Huang, the person in charge of the Phoenix group, sneered and said, yes, when the time comes, do you say we should take care of you, or should we take care of things? You will only add to the chaos for us. The head of the Tiger team, Jean Tiger Ern, said with an aura, furthermore. Are they still worried about the strength of our 4 teams? Although we rarely shoot, we have our escorts, have they ever failed? Yes, it's wrong. In the past 10 years, we have set out hundreds of missions, and we have not failed once. Others made dissatisfied voices. If Levi Garrison was healthy, no one would say anything. But in this way, it is clear that they do not trust them. The head of the wolf team, the mountain wolf, sneered, a superb command? I want to ask you, do you know the responsibilities and structure of our 4 teams? Levi Garrison shook his head. He really didn't know Messiah. Of course this is also confidential. Listen. The Dragon team is responsible for coordinating the globalization, the Phoenix team is responsible for intelligence, the Wolf team is responsible for assassination, and the Tiger team is responsible for military support. I don't even understand this and want to command us? How is it possible? Everyone is disdainful. Levi Garrison's value in this team is negative. It will only hinder everyone. The Ice Phoenix of the Feng group quickly said, well, since Messiah sent Levi to show that they had intentions, let's set off quickly. This place will be exposed soon. Tyrannosaurus and Fire Phoenix sighed, hey, it can only be so. But let's say it in advance, in case something happens. I won't care about him. Neither will I. Don't want to hold my hind legs. Even if he is dead, I won't take a look. This is the attitude of everyone. You follow me. Bing Fenghuang had a cold face, but his tone was still gentle. Just because Levi Garrison is her idol. If it were other people, the Ice Phoenix might have gone away. It is good. Levi Garrison nodded. Listen to my orders, the 4 members of the Wolf Group are responsible for exploring the road. They 4 members of the Tiger Group are responsible for the break. Others follow me to escort things. This time it's codenamed Beilong. Don't fail. After the Tyrannosaurus arranged the task, the convoy set off quickly. The sea and the sky are not reliable. Only walking on land is the safest. Levi Garrison and Bing Fenghuang were in the middle car. That box is still here. This means that Levi Garrison, like the box, needs protection. After getting in the car, Levi Garrison closed his eyes and rested. He actually missed Lavilia. The little girl hasn't seen it for several days. The Fire Phoenix glared at Levi Garrison fiercely. I know you have always regarded him as an idol, but does he look like an idol now? Take a look for yourself. The Fire Phoenix said, dissatisfied. Chapter 1349. Once he was our idol too. But now he is here to add chaos. The Fire Phoenix angered. Bing Fenghuang sighed and said, what if he recovers? The once god of war of Erudaya. Suppress hundreds of nations. It's not possible for the time being. Look at him all asleep. Take a mission as a tour. Everyone was very dissatisfied with Levi Garrison. Thinking about Levi Garrison gradually fell asleep. I don't know how long it has been. It's already raining heavily in the sky. Thunder roared, and lightning flashed across the night sky from time to time. Rumble. Suddenly bursts of thunder sounded. Me see. Scared Levi Garrison to wake up. Because he had just dreamed, Zoe and Lavilia were taken away. Just when thunder rang out, he woke up. Puff. The members of the Feng group laughed directly when they saw this scene. Woke up from thunder? Is this state to escort genetic medicine? Sure. It makes people laugh when it spreads out. How to escort a disabled person in a wheelchair who was awakened by thunder. Bing Fenghuang sighed, it seems that he has been the way he is now. It is estimated that he has suffered a lot of psychological shock. It is estimated that he will be afraid and anxious at such a loud voice. Isn't it? I fell from such a high position and turned into a useless person. Who can stand this blow? But this kind of person is sent to escort us and command us? It's ridiculous. As an organization under Messiah, it represents the supremacy. Each member has his own arrogance. When Levi Garrison was sent from above, they felt that they were questioning their abilities. In addition, Levi Garrison is in this state, making them even more angry. But we should be more confident. 16 of us are the strongest in the 4 major groups. We are escorted, and no one can take it away. The Fire Phoenix glared at Levi Garrison and said, even if there is such a burden, we are not afraid. In fact, people like Tyrannosaurus promised to bring Levi Garrison. It wasn't because of Bing Phoenix's words. But they have enough trust in their own strength. There was no danger along the way. The first zone is safe. Second zone is safe. The 16th zone is safe. It's not that there are only 16 escorts, there are many secret whistles along the way. Responsible for the handover with the Wolf Group. It was very close to the capital in one night. There is nothing dangerous along this road. We are only one area away and we succeeded. Bing Phoenix laughed. No matter how courage they are, how many people would dare to robbery in Erudia's land? Fire Phoenix said with disdain. This is their confidence in their own strength. It is also confidence in Erudia. The voice of the Tyrannosaurus in front came, the Wolf Group and the secret post have checked the area ahead, and there is no ambush. We can reach the capital safely. I think everyone can celebrate in advance. Call. Everyone breathed a sigh of relief. The tightness was all relaxed. After all, I was nervous all night. I thought there could be a big battle. It turned out to be that simple. The Fire Phoenix spread out his hands, with a face of fearlessness. Bing Feng Huang smiled, maybe our name is really scared. Whoever eats the bear heart and leopard guts, dare to start in the land of Arudaya. Haha, although this task is important but simple. It always feels like you won't win the Medal of Honor. The others laughed. The more you do this, the less you should relax. At this time, Levi Garrison's voice sounded. Chapter 1351. Yes, Levi Garrison, don't you say that this path is dangerous? We have walked out safely. Where is the danger? Also make us divert? Are you crazy? Several people from Fire Phoenix shouted coldly. The 4 members of the Wolf Group and dozens of secret whistles also laughed out loud after learning about the incident. Do you really treat us as fools? The area around this road is under our control, there is no danger in any way. Are you here to find a sense of presence? This time escorting you has no effect. Do you still think the proposal you just said is right? Several people asked Tyrannosaurus. Levi Garrison nodded, yes, I firmly believe that this road will go wrong. So I asked you to change the road just now. I really took it. Throw him here? Let him go back in a wheelchair by himself. Tyrannosaurus almost exploded in anger. Yes, I also think throw him here. Other people think the same way. Levi Garrison repeatedly provokes their majesty. Forget it, just complete the task, there is no need to influence trivial things. Yes, the first task is to send it back. Bing Phoenix persuaded. Everyone just gave up. Okay, go ahead. It's safe to arrive in the capital, and it will be a success if it is handed over to Messiah. The convoy, wolves, and secret whistles moved forward. Now it has entered the boundary of the capital. Everyone is laughing. In their concept, no one would do it in the capital. Capital equals forbidden land. This concept is really wrong. When Levi was the god of war in Arudaya, every inch of land in Arudaya was forbidden. Not to mention the capital of the top priority. The long road ahead is unmanageable. It's even impossible to do it in Oakland City. But it's just a concept, not a fact. Swish swish. In the next second, bursts of raging roars suddenly came out in the air. Boom. 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 I saw big buckets thick trees shooting from all directions. Hit on a modified off-road vehicle and almost overturned the car. Puff. 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 Many secret whistles were hit and vomited blood to death on the spot. The 4 wolves and the surrounding wolves were more or less injured. 3 high-speed cars were forced to stop abruptly. This scene was caught off guard and happened instantly. Tyrannosaurus' face changed drastically. Zanhu's face changed drastically. Ice Fire Phoenix's face changed drastically. Everyone's complexion became extremely pale at this moment. Someone really did it. Let Levi Garrison get it right. This is the boundary of the capital. Known as the Forbidden Area in the Forbidden Area. Still choose to do it during the day. Thousands of kilometers of road and the timing of heavy rain at night, they did not choose to do it. But chose to do it in the capital openly. This is unexpected. This is a possibility they never thought of. Even Messiah didn't think of it. Otherwise they had sent someone to greet them at the entrance of the capital. The main owner believes that the capital is safe. No one would dare to fight in the boundary of the capital even if he was killed. But he has the courage. It happened to be in the boundary of the capital. Open hands. The 4 members of the Feng group's eyes fell on Levi Garrison with complicated eyes. He was really right. The key is that he persuaded in advance. If he listened to him at that time and changed his course in time, these enemies would fall through. They will complete the task silently. There will be no casualties. God! What a God! How did Levi Garrison anticipate the danger on this road?